Both sides have made their way onto the Lavington Sports Ground for our match of the day between the Panthers and the North Albury Hoppers. Gus McLeod's by name, thanks to McRae Motors, joined by David Wink and Liam Scammell. And Winky, you've got the job on the 40-wing stat sheet this afternoon. Who are we keeping tabs on?
So for Lavington, going to keep the young gun, Jack Costello, averaging 26.7 disposals so far. Really having a great start of the season. Nick Newton, a really damaging player for the Lavy Panthers. Billy Glanville, averaging 29.7, almost 30 disposals for Billy. Just finds the footy. Scam, you've got him in your fantasy team.
I do, mate. Captain today.
Captain, so you'll be hoping he gets to that 30 average. Ed Perryman, Pan Equipment's not I've got him down there. And then your man, Gus's half forward for the Panthers, Shawnee Driz. And then for North Albury, go Julian Hayes off the half-back line. He's averaging 26 disposals. The coach, Timmy Broomhead, who's got 26 himself. Archie Gardner, we know how well he started the season. Caden Winter, and then Benny Rigoni from Coburg, VFL side.
So the captains have made their way into the middle. Tommy Hargrave, of course, back in the side, and George Goody. George Goody has won the toss for the North. Reece Rayner on the camera this afternoon. He's doing a very good job, one of the best in the business. Great to have him with the O&M Live team in 2025. And of course, Jackson and Luke Chilcott from Wangaratta and Indigo Computers bringing you the vision this afternoon. Righto, gents, we're not too far away from kickoff. Liam, we'll start with you. Thanks to the Newmarket Hotel, the best pub in the world, and I'm paying about $1.01 to go there tonight. Scammer, who do you think's going to win today? And give me some predictions and trends that you think might work.
I think we're in for an absolute ripper today, mate. I'm going to back North in by a point today, mate.
North by a point?
North by a point. I think it's going to be a cracking game. Both sides, in form, and one of those games you turn up to and don't really necessarily know what way it's going to go. Wink. Obviously, North fresh off a great win on Anzac Day and playing some good footy, so I'll go them just in a tight one.
I've tipped North Albury, but I did tip that thinking Josh Murphy was going to play, so I think I had him by 2 or 3 goals. I'm going to back him in North Albury. I'm going to go with Scam. Maybe not a point, but I reckon there's going to be less than a kick in this, and the Hoppers are going to win it.
I know this is going to sound so incredibly cliche, but the team that kicks the most accurately today is going to win. Not for any which part of the contest are we going to see a team break away, I feel, but I reckon it's the team that's going to capitalise on their chances. Lavington probably missed a few last week, as did North. That's going to be the make or break in today's game.
And I've just noticed why we didn't have North Albury President Oscar Ramsden join us in the box. It's because he's down there in the pink Scuzzy running for North Albury, and I reckon his shirt is 2 sizes too small.
And I reckon he put it through the dryer as well. So,
but that's why he didn't join us up here in pre-game.
Winky, a late change for the Lavington Panthers. Talk us through the in and out.
So it looks like John Ospina is the laid out. We know he was named, and Lockie Gaffney, who you and I both thought was pretty serviceable last week. He was a laid in last week as well. I think they had 3 or 4 changes. I think 4 changes in the end last week to their name side. So John Ospina's out, not Alex Spina. John Ospina is out, and Lockie Gaffney is in for the Lavy Panthers.
And Scam, I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but I've noticed a bit of a positional change for Jamie Mooney.
He is a big fella. Yeah, thought he'd probably start at centre half back, but in there for the first bounce.
So here we go on O&M Live. Thanks to A-grade oils and batteries, it's Lavington and North Albury on O&M Live. And the Panthers, via Billy Glanville, are going to win the first clearance. Rigoni hands on the footy now for the Hoppers. They bring it out to the grandstand side. Jack Penny now winks up as North Albury try and chip the ball down the line, but Jack Costello on the 40-inch stat sheet early. Links up in a 1-2 with Hargrave. Nice work here from Flack. Getting the ball up to the half-forward line, Leighton Taylor. The kick had too much pepper on it for him. And Winky's man, Alex Bennett, marks in the back pocket for the Panthers.
Free kick, boys.
Talk us to this one, Scam.
Yeah, I think his hands in the back there to our man, Leighton Taylor, who we had up earlier. Just a little shove out.
A bit stiff, I thought, there, Scam.
The umpires are going to pay it early as long as it's consistent. Kick inboard, well plucked off by Jack Costello for the Panthers. The Rising Star winner for 2024 sends it out to the Velodrome side wing. Nice mark taken by Paddy Ryan, the boy who's joined Lavington from South Adelaide in 2025. In the blue wheels, he kicks long down the Velodrome side wing. Captain Grumpy George Goody got a fist in that one. Now Mooney walks it forward onto Archie Gardner, inside 50. And it's been plucked off nicely by Jesse Hart. And that's a stat we're going to keep tabs on this afternoon, Winky, his influence on the game.
Well, we're going to take Lavington's intercept marks. They're up to 3 already, so really strong start from the Lavington back 6.
I think that is a part of their game. They do like to feature heavily as the ball comes back inboard to Billy Glanville. And we will apologise if Scam starts barracking for Billy a little bit later on in the call.
Fantasy
captain of the fantasy team today. So Bennett for the Panthers finds Chris Annette in the panic of space. True centre wing on the grandstand side. He puts it on the right boot to a 2-on-1. The 2 prevail for North Albury, but Lavington via Darcy Smith can neutralise the contest and will ball it up 55 metres out from Lavington goal. So 2 minutes gone here. Thanks to NZ Albury. Nice tap work from Driscoll. Inside 50, that was okay from Swinnerton. Julian Hayes has absorbed in a big tackle, will ball it up. Liam Scammell for the Newmarket Hotel. The North back 6 standing up.
Yeah, they are, mate. Yeah, pressure around the ball early on. No side's really been able to find too much open space, mate. It's been reasonably hotly contested.
45 metres out from Lavington goal. Head over the football there is Aidan Cook. Now Cullen feeds it out wide. North Albury try to exit D50 right in front of our broadcast position. Ball's been picked up nicely by Reynolds, who lowers the eyes. And looks like Harry Weaven's going to be swung into attack, Winky.
Yeah, North Albury have really thrown the magnets around. We spoke about Josh Murphy and Minogue out. They've tried to find a few avenues to goal here.
Turnover as Billy Glanville kicks inside 50 to my man Shawnee Driz. Goes by hand to the overlapper Darcy Smith. Top of the goal square was a grubber kick, not the best. The opportunity to snap on goal comes from Jack Glanville as Aidan Cook catches it on the goal line and bangs it into the back of the net. Lavington hit the scoreboard first. They lead 1 straight 6 to North Albury yet to score on the Steel Line scoreboard.
As we said pre-game, boys, I think, Lavy want the ball in motion, playing nice and quick. Little handball out to Darcy Smith there and centering ball to the top of the square. So a little bit scrappy, but we know that Lavington's quite happy playing that way.
Scam, you'll be happy. Billy Glanville up to 3 early disposals here on the Footy Wing stat sheet. Lavington with those 3 intercept marks have really stopped the momentum North Albury had going forward.
So 3.5 minutes gone here, thanks to NZ Albury. And as Winky said, North Albury throwing the magnets around a little bit. Let's have a look at a few of their looks this afternoon. They have to start winning the ball at the coalface as the kick goes out to half forward via Ed Perryman. Nice work there by Cook, brings the ball back inboard. Head over the footy was Winter. Big tackle applied there by Swinnerton for Lavington and will ball it up. True centre wing or slightly into attack for Lavington on the Velodrome side. 4 minutes gone for NZ. And Lavington lead 1 straight 6 to North yet to score. Jack Glanville goes via hand. He retreats to Costello dangerously into the corridor. The kick's worked out okay in the end. I reckon he's unlucky not to receive a 50 there, Winky.
Yeah, I reckon he's spot on. He didn't go back to where he took the mark either, I don't think.
Bennett. Now O'Brien on the right for Lavington. Inside forward 50, looking to find a contest. Nice mark taken, big Popey. He's taking a big strong one.
Big numbers behind the ball there. North did really well to get back and flood back and plenty of numbers inside 50 there for that entry.
Leighton Taylor was full of praise for this man. James Pope in his 4th game for the Hoppers. Trying to find his teammate from Colin Gully. And last year he finds Jamie Mooney, who's rucking in the early stages for the North Albury Hoppers. Right in front of our broadcast position here on the grandstand side. Kick up to half forward, 2-on-1. Leighton Taylor neutralised it, now tries to gather. The pickup came via Costello. He turned it over. Big crunching tackle applied and will ball the footy up on the edge of the centre square, Winky.
Gussie, do you think Tim Osterhoff not playing is thrown Harry Weaven forward and allowed North Albury without that big forward for Lavy?
And it's certainly a matchup they're going to try and expose, really stretch him. As Penny kicks inside 50 for North Albury. It's going to spill out of bounds 10 metres away from the behind post. And North Albury have a boundary throw in deep into attack. Liam Scammell for the Newmarket Hotel.
As I said earlier, mate, really tight battle. You look at the sort of numbers around the ball here and how high up the Lavington forwards have pushed. They're happy playing a scrappy game and there's not a lot of room to move out there. Driscoll
onto the captain Hargrave, who fumbled. Right on the bottom of the contest there from Harry Weaven. Lavington try and tackle him out of bounds, but the umpire calls for a stoppage early days. He will be an awkward matchup, Winky, for 40 Wings. Harry Weaven in attack.
Well, Australia's smartest man. He is a tough-nailed defender, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes up forward.
Annette's fumbled in D50, and once again another stoppage, a boundary throw-in right in front of the Steel Line scoreboard, which reads Lavington 1 straight 6 to North Albury yet to score. We played 6 minutes here on O&M Live. Thanks to A-grade oils and batteries. So a bit of a stalemate here across the first couple of minutes. 1 goal to Lavington, and now repeat stoppages inside attack for North Albury Footy Club. 50 metres out from goal. Perryman left it behind, weaving on hands and knees, trying to shovel one out here for North. Winter burrows his way through, and once again we'll have another stoppage. The tackling from Lavington's been a real obvious pressure point early, Winky.
Yeah, these two are the top 2 ranked pressure sides in the comp, so that's not a surprise to me, Gussie. They've really put numbers around the footy during the contest.
Another ball up here. So this is where you need the old third man up, Scamp, just to sort of bust open the game here. We're going to have our 5th repeat stoppage in this same spot as Jack Driscoll wins a tap in D50 for Lavington. Ball starts to break away. Broomhead looks evasive in these positions, but he's met by a big tackle from Chris Annette. 35 metres out from goal, will ball it up once again.
Jamie Mooney's just sitting loose behind the ball here. He's trying to get in position to take an intercept mark.
Billy Glanville, dump kick back into the centre of the ground. Peppers Campbell for North Albury. Fed the ball backwards, trying to find Flynn Gardner. Now he links up with it once again, sends the ball out wide, and here's Mooney on the right boot, up to half forward, plucked out nicely by Ed Perryman for Lavington. He's on the run, wants to come in board. Jack Glanville, his handball was poor, missed the target. Now Swinnerton for Lavington Panthers has to retreat. Jack Glanville, on to Billy Glanville. They got the ball tied up on the boundary, do Lavington, as they opt to kick long to a 2-on-1. Nice defensive pressure coming in there from Jordan McKenzie. And the ball goes out of bounds, true centre wing, Velodrome side of the Lavington Sports Ground. Liam Scammell for the Newmarket Hotel. What are you seeing early days?
Oh, mate, it's a lot of pressure and numbers around the footy. To be honest, I think this is exactly how Lavington want the game being played. So it'll be interesting to watch sort of, the coaching match-up throughout the day. But at the moment, I think this is the way that Lavington want the game played. Billy
Glanville up to the 5 stats on the 40-wing stat sheet. Jack Costello's found 4 disposals as well.
David Wink joining us on O&M Live thanks to 40 Winks. I have had some feedback coming through about the status of the call team this afternoon. A couple of very happy people tuning in this afternoon. I'll mention them shortly. There's Lavington, flirt with chaos here. Julian Hayes has to be strong. And he's absorbed in a big tackle, will ball it up. Big shout out to the Newmarket Hotel. And of course Dean Nicholson, his much better half, Britt Williams, tuning in on their 2-year wedding anniversary. And Dean, trying to get away from his mates like you and I, he's got us on the radio alongside you, Winky. So a big shout out to Britt and Dean from the Newie.
One of the great men is Dino.
Britty had a birthday this week too.
Yeah, happy birthday to Britty.
Happy birthday, Britt.
So we've got 2 listeners tuning in this afternoon, or at least 2 anyway. Archer Gardner for North Albury, out to the broadcast side wing. Kick couldn't quite hit Crelly. Tracking this one back is Douglas. He goes back in board. That was okay. Nice link-up play with Pat Ryan. Great smother off the boot from Leighton Taylor. That's what you want as a coach. Your half-forwards to really impact the contest, Scammo.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. We know how dangerous he is offensively, and as a coach you sort of love those defensive acts as well. So sort of lock it in North Albury's forward half here.
We'll get Winky to go around the ground shortly, thanks to our friends at Mr. Stokes Pool. We'll get some scores in the other O&M games. Of course, a full helping this afternoon as we return to Saturday 2 o'clock action. Cullen for North Albury brings it out, trying to find Flack. Riley Smith retreats. A little dinky kick, that was okay there from Summers. It looks as if Cooper Summers has come into the lineup today for North Albury. Obviously, we might have a late out. We'll keep tabs on who that is. I haven't actually seen big Brad Hutchison, so that might be the change for North. As they go up to half forward, head over the ball with Smith, got the ball on the Flack, overlaking handball inboard, wasn't the best. Hargrave, the captain for Lavington's wrapped up in a big tackle, and will ball the footy up between the 50 arc and the centre square. Winky, some around the ground for Mr. Stoves.
Yarrawonga and Murderford playing a beautiful game early. 2 goals apiece, 12-12. Rovers lead Wonga Raiders by 2 points, 8-6. And the Bulldogs have an early lead over Wang Magpies. And Cora Rutherglen jumped out in front early against Albury. They lead 19-1 at this stage.
Hot start there for the Roos around the grounds thanks to Mr. Stoves Pool World. And here at the Lavington Sports Grounds, the Panthers 1 straight 6 to North, yet to score in a really tightly contested contest. Julian Hayes feeds it back to Flynn Gardner, who kicks to grass here for North Albury. Inside 50, Weaven was pushed underneath it by Bennett. Umpire let it go. Nice work from Douglas. Back in board, Archer Gardner looks to be dangerous here for North. But the Lavy back 6 stand up once again and win themselves a free kick for holding the ball, Scam.
Yeah, it was, mate. Weaven just none done to the ball there. That's sort of, I guess, one of those examples where you're missing a Minogue or a Murphy leading out from the goal square to hit up.
And Alex Bennett, your man Winky, has stepped up early days in the back six for the Panthers.
5 inside 50s for North Albury from no score so far. The back six standing up brilliantly for the Lavington Panthers.
There's something in the water here at Lavington. They always find a way to unearth hidden gems. As the kick from Jesse Hart finds the captain in Hargrave. They're going to hug the boundary line here on the grandstand side. Perryman goes over the top to Costello, who's racking up the 40-inch disposals. Bennett's worked up the ground. The umpire's found him a free kick for a high. It's going to go against Caden Winter. So Bennett darts the ice forward. Kai Davies coming off the bench, dropped a bit of a sit-up. They feed the ball backwards. Right on McKenzie, got it onto Winter, the assistant coach for North Albury. Inboard goes McKenzie. This is nice link-up play. Flack feeds it backwards to Flynn Gardner. Spins out of trouble now, finds the right. Little dinky kick as he needed to kick through the ball. Got the ball in the true centre wing. Found his brother in Foster. Now on to Leighton Taylor. Raking ball over the top. Aidan Cook. Hot in pursuit of Campbell. Smith. They're overusing the ball by hand here in North Albury, and they cough it up and turn it over. Hargrave's going to do the same thing. Big crunching tackle applied by Swinnerton. And Peppers Campbell and Darcy Cullen not on the same page. It's a free kick to Lavington across half back. Hargrave by hand once again. Costello's everywhere for Lavington. Could be downfield. Umpire says no. And James Pope marks at centre half back for North Albury. So sort of going a little bit too heavy by hand, I'd say, early days. Scam for the Newmarket Hotel are the Hoppers.
Absolutely. I think that last chain there, mate, there's about 10 or 12 handballs as it's turned over at centre half back.
Dangerous kick. Lavington have numbers inside attack. Mooney's going to have to attack this hot here for North Albury. Pinball's around 35 metres out from Lavington goal, and Jamie Mooney stands up in the back six here for the North Albury Hoppers.
As we said coming in, mate, just that balancing game style of a high handball team like North Albury and a pressure side like Lavington. It's going to be a key aspect of the battle.
Archie Gardner read it out of the contest nicely onto Winter, who's racking up the 40-inch disposals, David.
He's up to 4, Gussie.
Put another one down here for Julian Hayes. There's a well-weighted kick to our broadcast position, and he finds Dogger Dennis. He marks true centre wing grandstand side for North Albury. Well-weighted kick inboard. Beautiful looking vision. Dropping the mark was Gardner. It allowed Rigoni to run onto it. Now Kane Flack. First look on goal for North is a good one. Sunjam goal today from Kane Flack. The best passage of play from the North Albury Hoppers at the 13-minute mark results in a goal. And it's one straight 6 apiece thanks to Steelline on O&M Live.
Classy finish by Flack there on the run from 45. Just how you like it. Just found a little bit of space whilst the inside 50 and slotted it through. Truly Winky.
Well, we spoke about him pre-game. Ben Rigoni, that's only his second disposal for the game, but as soon as he gets it, he creates that running pop pass through. North Albury have a shot on goal and kick a goal.
So I'm going to say, boys, and we'll get this confirmed at quarter time, but I reckon Brad Hutchison is the late out for the North Albury Hoppers. It's been 14 minutes and we haven't spotted him, and into the side looks to be Cooper Summers for the North Albury Hoppers. So a couple of late changes for both respective teams. John O'Spina's also out for Lavington, and into the side comes Lockie Gaffney. Ball at half back here in the hands of Billy Glanville for the Lavington Panthers, out to the broadcast side, and he finds Jake O'Brien in the long sleeves. On the right, beautiful kick. He's found Aidan Cook in a paddock. Julian Hayes get the man on the mark late. Cook assesses his options. Wants to kick deep here for the Lavington Panthers. At the back of the contest, Big Jack Driscoll. Too much height for James Pope. He's floated forward, and Big Jack will kick from 10 metres out directly in front. Yeah,
you said pre-game, mate, he's a bit of that utility type, whether he's, that rough size, but clearly got some good skills going forward as well, and just sent it to the top of the square and a nice contested mark.
So Big Jack looking to respond instantly from Lavington at the Hannah Street end. Top of the goal square, makes no mistake, and Lavington, they kick their second. So 2 straight to 1 straight here, thanks to Steelline on O&M Live, and this is a good game of footy, Winky.
Well, 5 inside 50s to Lavington, but they've taken the 2 marks in there. Big Jack Driscoll just nudged Pope under the... Looks like he's staying forward too, Gussie, so Kai Davies in the rough.
Costello got a bad bounce. North Albury have numbers. Scrap in the middle of the ground here as they go inside 52 North. Well done, pardon me, by Jesse Hart. Mops up his own crumbs. Nice work onto Hart. Flew across, just almost dropped it. Almost marked it, I should say. Now Costello.
He is. He's the number one intercept marker in the
dispossessed. Mooney now for the North Albury Hoppers, absorbed in a big tackle. Scam for the Newmarket Hotel. Have you noticed that run with roll with Hargrave and Broomhead?
Yeah, Hargrave running with Broomhead. Interesting matchup with Tim's running capacity with Hargrave to be able to stay with him. I think you mentioned he had a bit of an injury cloud coming in too, mate.
We've got a big corky against Myrtleford 2 weeks ago, missed last week. Lavington exit D50, Flynn Gardner in a one-on-one battle, prevails. Wrapped up in a tackle by O'Brien and will ball it up between true centre and the 50 here for the North Albury Hoppers at the 17.5, almost 18-minute mark here, thanks to NZ on O&M Live. It's going to be Davies and Mooney in the ruck. Good use of strength there from Kai. Great to see him back in Lavington colours. Billy Glanville head over the footy, got dispossessed. Umpires to put the whistle away here, which I like. Nice work there from Patton. Got the ball on to Gaffney, who comes down the broadcast side wing. Charlie Sanson dropped the sitter. Fed the ball back to the North Albury Hoppers via Summers. Now a nice looking ball inboard, come via Julian Hayes. It's going to be Mooney. Centre half back, inboard, dangerous kick. Penny got a good piece of it. Not good enough as Clemson was hot on his heels. Now Lavington, hands on the ball. They want to attack the outside part of the corridor. Dangerous work as North Albury have numbers. Back of the contest there is Cooper Summers. Brings it out to the broadcast side wing and out of bounds for the boundary throw. Right in front of their broadcast position, Liam Scammell for the Newmarket Hotel.
Lucky to get away with it there. North turnover in the middle of the ground. Really could have bounced back the other way quite quickly, but they did well to hang on.
So boundary throw in. Slightly into attack on the centre wing position here for the Lavington Panthers. Well done by Winter. He's been everywhere. Feeds it back to Julian Hayes, who kicks the grass really nicely and spots Reynolds, who's a really good runner. Takes a bounce on the cricket wicket. It come back to him. Now he takes his second. Gets to 50. Jack Reynolds winds up, top of the goal square. Dogger Dennis and Alex Bennett in a one-on-one tussle, and Bennett got a fingertip to see it across the goal line for a minor score. As North Albury moved to 1-1-7, Lavington 2 straight 12. That matchup, Winky, was superb. But how about the kick from Julian Hayes?
Yeah, we know Julian takes it on every time he gets it. He's averaging 26 disposals. 20 of those disposals Gussie a kick, so he kicks it every time he gets it almost.
What a kick from fullback from Patton. He found his way to Sean Driscoll, who's gone with the number 0 this year, and I don't mind it. Nice link-up play. Lavington from fullback have gone into attack via 2 kicks. Swinnerton steadies, finds some space and kicks across the face for a minor score. Lavington 2-1-13, North Albury 1-1-7 thanks to Steele Line.
Another matchup I've noticed, guys. Flint Gardner, who we spoke about, has played forward so far this year. Looks like he's playing on Alex Swinnerton in the back line.
So Hayes from fullback brings the ball back inboard, and now George Goody has it at centre half back. Overlapping run comes via Winter. The kick comes inboard. Archer Gardner has Sheridan in hand. Defensive side of the centre circle for North Albury. This game started to open up. Taking 2 bounces with Arch, and he kicks out to the Velodrome side. Losing his footing was Dogger Dennis, uncharacteristically, as Jack Driscoll for Lavington feeds it up to half forward, and he finds Jack Glanville. Over the top, onto Swinnerton, now back inboard. Jack Glanville inside 50. Darcy Smith needs a bounce. Well done, Campbell. Wrapped up in a tackle by Sean. Holding the ball! Oh, geez, I tell you what, I didn't see that coming. There was next to no prior opportunity for mine, but the tackle from Sean Driscoll was quite impressive. But North Albury, they can feel hard done by there. I thought Darcy Cullen did a defensive, really good job. Free kick for Lavington, 25 metres out, slide angle.
Yeah, couldn't agree more there, mate. Very lucky to come away with that, Lavington. It was a pretty messy entry. So to be able to have a set shot here, 15-20 out, pretty well directly in front. Be pleased to get away with that one.
As long as it's consistent, I'm not a huge... Don't have a huge problem with it, but consistency is key.
That was very hot on the ball call.
Sean Driscoll, I don't mind it for my fantasy team from 25 metres out, slots it. Back-to-back goals for the Panthers. They've kicked 3, and they lead 19-7 on the Steel Line scoreboard. David Wink, what's happening on that 40-wing stat sheet?
For Lavington, Billy Glanville's up to the 10 disposals. He's really influencing this game early on. We know he's averaging nearly 30 for the game, but North Albury would want to get a hold of him. Tim Broomhead only had the 1 disposal, so we know Hargey's going with him and locking onto him pretty hard, especially when he goes into the middle of the ground. And the inside 50s are pretty even as well. 10 for North Albury, 8 for Lavington. But Lavington taking their opportunities and hit the scoreboard.
It looks like Broomhead's floated forward here too, boys.
Keep tabs on that. It's often what he likes to do at this stage in the game. Loves a goal late in the contest. Does Timmy. Archie Gardner fed it back to Penny, who was dispossessed immediately as Lavington kick inside 50 once again. Nice work from Swinnerton. Equal to the contest was Flynn Gardner as North exit D50. Trying to get the ball out wide, finding his brother Foster on the Velodrome side. Well done there by O'Brien for Lavington as they regather possession. Inboard, nice looking 1-2. O'Brien wants to handball to Grass. That's nice work on to Ryan. This is a good build-up here from Lavington. Darcy Smith, bit off more than he could chew. Elite body and paint player today as the rundown tackle come from Archie Gardner.
One like you can't run away from. Gussie is very fast, Arch.
He's got the ball across half-back for Lavington. They're going to sit the ball into the back line and they're going to play a methodical brand here and maybe take a bit of sting out of the contest. As Lavington have kicked back-to-back goals, the ball comes back inboard. He finds Gardner. Flynn on the right boot. That just goes against what they did for the last 45 seconds. A poor kick to a contest at half-forward and we'll ball it up. Velodrome side, 50 metres out from Lavington goal, gents.
Yeah, poor option that one. It was probably just that little bit of slow play where they just needed to maintain possession. There wasn't really anything on down the line. Caused another stoppage here inside Lavington forward 50.
North Albury have their hands on the ball amongst congestion. Lavington regather, kick to the top of the goal square. Sitting in the front spot was Pope. I'm happy to see it across the chalk for a boundary throw-in. We've played 23 minutes here on O&M Live, thanks to NZ Albury, and the scoreboard's down. So we've had 3 goals to the Lavington Panthers and 1 to North Albury. The scoreboard's down. It's been a pretty short quarter too, I might add. Only the 4 goals in 24 minutes elapsing here on O&M Live, and the score at quarter time sees Lavington lead 3-1-19 to the North Albury Hoppers 1-1-7. Game starting to open up a little bit, and I reckon that trend will continue throughout the day. The first quarter for A-grade oils and batteries done and dusted. Stick with us on the other side of the break. The second term on O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid.
Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.
Jaco Albury Wodonga.
O&M Live on 2AY.
It was a good first term for Jaco Albury Wodonga here on O&M Live, and it sees Lavington with their nose in front. 19-7 here at the first break. Liam Scammell has got the quarter's best players thanks to C&L shower screens and wardrobes. Who caught your eye in the first term, Scam?
Yeah, as we said, mate, pretty contested, a lot of numbers around the footy, but Billy Glanville, the inside mid, I think found it about 10 times, Winky, is that right?
Yeah, 11 40 wing stats on the stat
11.
sheet, Scam.
Yeah, so he was racking it up on the inside, really highly contested. Start to that first quarter, and Billy are able to get his hands on it around the footy. And for the Hoppers, Caden Winter as well caught my eye, Winky. I think he had about 8 or so touches there as well.
Yeah, does a lot of the inside work, Caden. Creates a lot of the run for North Albury once he gets there on the outside as well.
There's your C&L shower screens and wardrobes quarters best. And Winky, what's keeping your pen busy on the 40-wing stat sheet in the first term?
Well, the inside 50s are even. 9 inside 50s to Lavington, 10 inside 50s to North Albury. But only the 2 scoring shots for North Albury, which is a stat we're taking. We wanted to add a little bit of an extra layer today. But the other one we added for North Albury is rebound 50. So they're averaging 26, almost 27 inside, rebound 50, sorry. They only had 3 in that first quarter. So the pressure of Lavington being put on that run and gun defence that North Albury like to use. They use Julian Hayes really well coming out of their back 6. They really stifled that in the first quarter.
Yeah, Julian Hayes looked dangerous off half-back when you know how well he uses the ball and how aggressive he uses the ball. So no doubt North Albury want the ball in his hands more in the second quarter. Around
the ground, some Mr. Stokes Pool World. Winky, a couple of really good games in the SS&A Ovens and Murray.
Yeah, it looks like we got a shootout at the Albury Sports Ground. Coro lead that one 5-2, 32 to the Albury Tigers, 3 goals, 3-21. And then down in Wangaratta, we got a close one between the Wang Magpies and the Wodonga Bulldogs. The Bulldogs up by a point in that one, 3 goals, 2-20 to 3 goals, 1-19. And then Wang Rovers and Wodonga Raiders down at Birrelea Park. Rovers lead that one, 4 goals, 3-27 to 2 goals straight, 12. And then Yarrawonga and Murderford look like they're having a bit of a shootout too, to be honest, Gussie. 6 goals, 137. Murderford lead that one, 3 goals, 321.
Might have a look and see if they're kicking goals or taking tabs on the goal kickers in this game. It looks like Lee Williams with 2 and 1 to Matt Casey, whilst for the Alpine Saints, Brodie Riccardi with 3 and Kai Agosta with 3 as well. So a free agent in the O&M Live Fantasy racking up the goals early days.
He's missed the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. So
they've looked very good in round 1 against the Raiders.
He certainly did. Scam, any key matchups and positional changes that you've observed as we get ready for the second term?
Just looking for Broomhead, mate. I think he's not in this first centre bench. He's gone deep forward, so heavy tag, only 1 or 2 touches in that first term, and starting out the goal scorer in the second.
Here we go for Jaco Albury the second term on O&M Live. 19 plays 7 in favour of the Lavington Panthers, and like we mentioned, a couple of late changes into the side for Lavington as Gaffney and out is Spina. And for North Albury, they brought in Cooper Summers, and Brad Hutchison is a laid out. Across half back, that was nice link-up play from Julian Hayes. He got the ball onto Peppers Campbell, who kicks long down the line for the North Albury Hoppers. Jake O'Brien mops up and retreats a long way. Back to Jesse Hart, who fumbled crucially, but regained his composure, linked up in a 1-2 with Costello, and now he rebounds off half-back, kicks long down the line. Nice clean hands here from Sean Driscoll. Throws on the boot inside 50. Lavington have some runners. Aidan Cook's one of them, so's Darcy Smith. Jack Reynolds looks like he's playing behind the ball and he sees it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in for the North Albury Hoppers. And Lavington, they can go coast to close really quickly, Scam.
They can, yeah. Charlie Sanson there is a sort of big key target, just caught behind, but did a really good job to bring the ball to ground, and with those pressure type forwards in Darcy Smith looking really dangerous.
So inside 50 here we are for the Lavington Panthers, kicking to the Urana Road end. Slap to the top of the goal square. Charlie Sanson went the toe poke, got a bad bounce, and North Albury via James Pope handball it across their defensive goal for a minor score, which sees Lavington move to 3-2, North Albury 1-1. North Albury via Julian Hayes kick long inside the corridor to a 3-on-1. Lavington have the 3, and one of whom is Pat Ryan. He mops up nicely. They bring it out via Glanville onto Costello. He got a bad bounce, but regathered the footy. Burnt 3 players, one of whom was Mooney. How far did he run? Too far, said the umpire, and will bring the footy back. A free kick here for the North Albury Hoppers. Liam Scammell for the Newmarket Hotel. He did everything except bounce it.
He did, mate. He had the fend off, but he was off and away, but just forgot to take a little bounce along the way.
He's showing some really good signs as to why Lavington have such big raps. Young Jack, he got his 40 winks today, David.
Yeah, he's up to the 8 disposals too early in this second quarter.
North Albury go long down the line. Courage from Billy Glanville through across the contest. Mooney evaded the tackle, regathered composure, kicking inside 50. Had too much on it for Big Weevo. Now Costello. He's retreated onto the last line of defence for Lavington with a well-weighted, dinky-looking kick over the top. The umpire should pay the mark there to Newton.
What did he call? Not 15?
I don't know, but the umpire's called for the footy and we'll ball it up. So it's either touch off the boot or not 15. Take your pick. In the end, it's a stoppage inside attacking 50 here for North. Nick Newton slaps it forward, looking for Hargrave. Winter dispossessed. Now it's Nick Newton once again. On the non-preferred, the left goes out to the Velodrome side. Coming out in front and taking a nice strong mark is James Pope, and he's working into the game nicely.
That's the first disposal Nick Newton's had in this one, boys. He's been really damaging the last few weeks, but only found the 1 disposal so far on the 40-win stat sheet.
Leighton Taylor flew high, brought it front and square. Now North Albury via Weave and get it onto Broomhead. Snapping from 35, Timmy. He misses to the left-hand side for a minor score. And that's a match-up and a positional change, Scam, you picked up on early for the Newmarket Hotel. He's very dangerous inside 50.
Yeah, he is. And we've obviously seen it over the last few years that he can perhaps come unstuck a little bit, Broomhead, with that tag. So I guess obviously the play there for North Albury is to send him forward and be damaging when he does get the footy. 12-point lead for CMV Truck and Bus, favouring the home side, Lavington, over the North Albury Hoppers as Jesse Hart looks to switch and switch dangerously. Appeals for out of bounds on the full. I'm adamant that Jack Costello got a fingertip on that, but I'm a very, very long way away. And Tim Broomhead is going to receive the out of bounds free kick, tied up in the pocket, and Scam Missile suiting for a check side. Yeah, it will. Obviously, when you've got a tight tag and it's... Hang on, back to you, Gussie.
Here's Timmy, and he misses to the near side once again. So Lavington They get off the hook there and get out of jail, minor score.
Yeah, he'll be flat on that one, Timmy. Obviously love a free look at it there as he got. Don't know if the free kick was there. So, when you got a tight tag and defenders running with you, you love a freebie. So you'd be disappointed not to slot that one through.
Winky free kick tab on the 40 wing stack sheet.
Free kicks, I just missed that one, Gus. That's 2 to North Albury in this second quarter. Lavington yet to get one.
Around the grounds of Mr. Stokes Poolwell, this game at the Albury Sports Ground's really blown out in the last 5 minutes.
Cora Rutherglen kicked 7 goals, 2 up to 44. Play Albury 3 goals, 3, 21. The Cora forwards must be getting a hold there. Caelan Bradke with 2 extends his lead in the Dove Show medal, Gussie.
And similar to when Liam Scammell bats on this venue, the ball departed the stadium. Andrew Moore from the Border Mails in the box, he can testify to that. Liam Scammell does some of his best work out in the middle. And Timmy, I reckon he sent that ball to the tip. That's how far he kicked it. There's Lavington with a new footy, regathered the ball and kick into the corridor. Nice looking kick finds its way to Ed Perryman. Perryman been okay to start, feeds the ball out to O'Brien. O'Brien kicks out to Jack Glanville, true centre wing Velodrome side. They want to come back into the corridor. Here's Billy Glanville racking up the 40 links disposals. They want to attack the corridor here. Douglas, a bit of work to do. Handball's out wide, back to Billy. And Billy kicks to the Velodrome side wing. He's got Costello. Now the overlapping run of O'Brien on the right boot to Annette, who's floated forward. Got a bad bounce, then lost his footing. Summers got him in a tackle and will ball the footy up. I tell you what, Billy Glanville on the 40 winks, David.
16 disposals on the 40 wing stat sheet for Billy. He's really dominating this first half.
That's in 29 minutes of footy scam for the Newmarket Hotel. That's exceptional.
Yeah, skipper of the fantasy side today, mate. Backing it up.
Be happy with him, Scam.
I reckon the message will be coming from Scam at the main break. Just let Billy keep doing his thing. 6 minutes gone here, thanks to NZ. And we've got an 11-point lead in favour of Lavington over North Albury on O&M Live. As North have a 1-2 option here with Flack. He missed it via Winter. Now he regathered. Summers wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire said he had Pryor holding the ball. It's going to be a free kick to young Swinnerton here for the Lavington Panthers in a dangerous spot. Men on the marks on the arc of 50 as Lavington kick to the Urana Road end. And it's quite a congested forward line that awaits Alex Swinnerton. So he chips it into the pocket beautifully, and the mark has been taken by Glanville. This is Jack, and that's poor marking from the North Albury back six.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, all numbers behind the footy there, a real slow play, and to be able to find some space and spot up a target inside 50 was beautiful ball use.
One thing I noticed there, Winky, was a lot of the North defenders were in the goal square. None of them sort of in that 30 to 40 metre arc bracket.
Well, and that, I guess, with Big Rooster out, Lavington don't have that option to kick to the top of the goal square, Gussie. So North Albury defaulted back to that iron. It's coming to the top of the square. Lavington good enough to find the option and use the short one.
He'll kick from 40 on a slide angle. Will Jack Glanville on the left. It's across the face. Oh! Sean Driscoll.
Your man, Shawnee Driz.
With an elite body and paint hanger of the day. He got a fair bit of airtime there, did little Shawnee, and it might have something to do with the aerodynamic haircut, Scammer.
Yeah, there's not a lot up top, but he's certainly got a good ride, mate. An absolute cracker. It'd be nice to see that one back.
Shawnee Driscoll.
And he should put it home from about 10 metres out.
He'll play on, snap across his body, take a bow, Shawnee Driz. Some mark, some finish, and you'll struggle to see a better play than that in 2025. Lavington extend the margin 26-9. On the CMV truck and bus scoreboard.
Yeah, a couple of beautiful bits of play there by Lavington. As was said, it's sort of been quite contested, high numbers around the ball. So with those couple of entries, being able to spot up a target inside 50 and then a big contested mark like that by Shawnee Driscoll, it's, Lavington's playing exactly how they want to.
5 40 wing stats for Shawnee Driscoll and a goal. And you mentioned the aerodynamic haircut, Gus. He's playing on George Goody, so between them, there's not much going on up top. The two tough nuts going head to head. There's been a good matchup so far today.
Shawnee Driscoll's kicked his second for the Panthers as they kick their fourth. 26 plays 9, and they're going to win the centre contest once again. And O'Brien held his width on the centre wing position to allow the overlapping run from Costello to come as he waits the ball up to half forward. Reynolds and George Goody link up for North. Goody throws it on the boot and Costello happy to tap it across the chalk for a boundary throw-in. Between attack and true centre wing for the Lavington Panthers will bring the football back into play.
Jack Costello, that was as deliberate as I've seen, Gussie. We're playing deliberate. That is a free kick to North Albury every day of the week.
I think Mason Ring is probably the only one that sort of pays it, so I reckon
Mason.
The umpires will let it go. Here's flack for North. Dispossessed, that's holding the ball. Great pressure from Lavington. O'Brien, now he's done holding the ball. Tit for tat here at the O&M Live venue of the day, the Lavington Sports Ground. George Goody wins a free kick here. An elite body and paint play today from the captain as he sits one up into the air. Trying to fly high as Weaven, with Bennett intercepts nicely. And Lavington back six and their talls are playing a really good game today. Inboard to Nick Newton in the back of the centre square. He's going to kick dangerously out wide. Turnover for North Albury. Inboard, Julian Hayes, the damaging right footer, inside 50. Here's an opportunity for young Smith. Didn't quite have the legs. Lavington have numbers in the back six. And one of whom is Alex Bennett will ball it up top of the goal square for the North Albury Hoppers.
Gussie, Ben Rigoni and Archie Gardner yet to touch the ball in this second term, and North Albury want to get those two involved.
Snap on goal from Gardner was smothered off the boot by Patton, and we'll have a boundary throw-in scam 30 metres out from North Albury's goal.
Yeah, again, all numbers inside the front half here for North. Lavy piling in around the footy.
So 10.5 minutes gone here, only the one goal to Sean Driscoll. And we're in attack here for the Panthers. We should have another contest as the ruck raffle is going to be called into Brendan Llewellyn's hand. We'll ball it up 25 metres out from goal. Jaco Albridonga's second term here on O&M Live. Nice tap work there from Jack Driscoll. Tim Broomhead had his pocket picked. Umpires let it go. Nick Newton hands on the footy, opts to kick to grass here for the Lavington Panthers. Summers is tracking this one, needs to find a hand. He does. He finds Mooney. Now Archie Gardner now back on to Summers. Nice link-up play as he kicks long down the line for North. Big contest from Weaven. And Ed Perryman took a courageous elite body and paint marker today.
Yeah, it was a good grab with the big fella charging in there, Weaven. Did really well to hang on.
It's a tough unit. He's Ed Perryman. He goes inboard to Hargrave.
Sore too.
He might be looking to come for a spell. Dangerous switch from Lavington. It looks to be a clear plan they're looking to execute today, Scam. Switch at all costs.
Yeah, and ball in motion. That, you know, it's play on, mark, play on. They want that ball in motion.
Douglas kicked down the line, found its way to Patton, who's floated forward on the left boot. This is a nice build-up play here for Lavington. Handball over the top from Clemson. Now under the pump, Costello. George Goody was tracking him nicely like a caravan and wrapped him up in a tackle at the crucial moment. Winky?
Yeah, George just laid a brilliant tackle there. Jack Costello continuing his form. He's up to 6 disposals in this quarter as well.
The 40-week stat sheet is quite active, yours, Winky. A lot of players influencing the game. Julian Hayes with a tap backwards onto Gardner. Now here's a go for Flack. Oscar Ramsden has got in the road. Get out of the bloody way, Prez. As North kick towards grass. Bennett's got some work to do. The handball missed Gaffney, but got a bit of a deflection. So Bennett got in the action once again. Kick was smothered. Now the ball's in dispute. Gardner mops up, feeds it out wide. He's got Reynolds and an overlapping Dogger Dennis if he wants to use him. Dennis, horrible kick off the boot, but it might work out okay. Handball from Gardner was poor, trying to find Rigoni. Once again, the Lavington back six stand up. It was Costello and Glanville, midfielders floating into defence. They save a certain goal there for the North Albury Footy Club.
Yeah, as you say, Gussie, Lavy did really well to hold up there. You know, goals have been really hard to come by, and they've just messed that one up, North.
Keep tabs on Riley Smith here for North, who's come to the bench looking for a spell. Looks to be a little bit sore as Hargrave on hands and knees, wrapped up in the Rigoni tackle. Will ball it up once again.
I saw that Smith one, mate. I think there was a big corky in that smother. Looks sore down on the bench here.
Of course, brothers playing against each other today. Riley for North and Darcy for Lavington. Still 25 metres out from goal. Pinballs around at the bottom of the contest. Umpire's going to blow the whistle and we'll have a stoppage once again.
It's been the story of the day, mate, the repeat stoppages.
Just watch the Lavington to swoop on this exit. That looks to be their game plan today. Relentless pressure and then swoop when the opposition least expect it. They exit D50 and it's a turnover. Jack Reynolds is marked here for the North Albury Footy Club. It's tied up on the boundary. And everyone in the attacking half of the ground for the North Albury Hoppers. So Reynolds, the boy from Mara, kicks to the top of the goal square for North Albury. Leighton Taylor flew across the contest, brought it front and centre. Weaven's on top of this one. and a flurry of Lavington defenders. So we'll have another stoppage once again. It seems to be a common theme, Scam.
It does indeed, and we've spoken about it earlier, but when you've got no Minogue and no Murphy, and Lavy's getting these big numbers back behind the footy, then they're just lacking that big marking target, North.
Winter burrows his way through, weaving crumbs opportunistically. Dayton Taylor! Snap from the top of the square and hit the stick, and it's a minor score. So Leighton Taylor couldn't quite find the big sticks there for the North Albury Footy Club, and it's going to be at full back now with Patton. Raking kick inboard. They're going to try and go coast to coast here quite quickly. They've got the ball past halfway. Nice tackle applied by Sean Driscoll. Will ball it up in the middle.
Lavington looking to stretch the ground. They had absolutely no one in their forward half. And then as soon as Patton got the ball, they had it streaming. They were just trying to get that chaos ball going forward into space.
15 minutes gone here thanks to NZ on O&M Live. It's 10 playing 26 with Lavington in front. Only the one goal this quarter, the 8-minute mark by Sean Driscoll, with a mark of the day contender for elite body and paint. Nice work from Jack Driscoll. Got it onto Glanville, who just toe pokes it forward. Darcy Smith didn't quite have the front position there. As Pope's wrapped up in a tackle. Ball it up once again, gents.
Yeah, another repeat stoppage. They really need to try and get some speed on the ball here, North. We've mentioned it a few times where Lavington have got these massive numbers around the ball, playing it on their terms. We know they love to handball North Albury, so that's going to be the key here, linking up those chains and getting the ball going forward.
Out of bounds for a boundary throw in between half forward and centre wing here for the Lavington Panthers, as David Wink gives us some 40 winks.
Ben Rigoni is still yet to touch the ball here in this second quarter. He's been one of North Albury's prime movers so far this year. They're not getting the tag. He just hasn't found the footy at all.
Of course, Broomhead Scam for the Newmarket Hotel looks to still be in the deep forward. North are going to have to try and find him as they break away from this contest across half-back. Well done, Reynolds. Dropped the mark but regathered. Wants to feed the ball back inboard. Campbell on the left. Nice looking pass to Leighton Taylor. He had a good enough piece of that for mine. Umpire didn't agree. Now the North Albury Football Club retreat back inboard. Dangerous kick from Reynolds. Flack's got some work to do. Has numbers out wide. One of whom is Taylor in the long sleeves. Sells a bit of candy. Doesn't have an option, so he kicks with a dumping long ball down the line. Broomhead brought it front and centre to Rigoni. He's on the 40-wing stat sheet as they go inside 50. Shallow entry, Julian Hayes trying to hack it forward. But Lavington have numbers everywhere and they're going to rebound quickly. George Goody come off the bench and intercepted in front of Swinnerton nicely.
Yeah, read it beautifully, George, off the time. Important grab there. Again, a lot of space out the back for Lavy.
It's that bridge kick between midfield and half forward that's letting North Albury down at present. They've got plenty of the ball. They've just got to execute better. As Gardner, Archie switches out trying to find Foster. In fact, it's Flynn. Flynn on the right, inside 50 to the leading lane of Dennis. Got it on the half volley. Fed a handball back to Pope. Spins around, got the handball away. Umpire put the whistle away. Darcy Smith has tracked Pope into attack. He dumps it on the boot, and now it's a genuine foot race. Sean Driscoll looks to have the legs. He got the bounce, and Summers can't catch him. Sean takes one bounce. Sean takes two. Take a third, and kick the goal. Sean Driscoll. He's kicked his third, and over 100 metres, he's going to be very hard to catch. Is Shawnee Driscoll. Lavington go coast to coast once again, and Shawnee Drizzle come for a much-earned break. Lavington, they kick their 6 on O&M Live.
Winky, they've threatened to get that ball out over the back there, Lavington, the last 3 or 4 times going forward, and we're finally able to through Driscoll. But that's just a byproduct of the way they're playing numbers up the ground and then getting it back out over the top.
I'll tell you what it is, Scam, and we've mentioned it on the broadcast the last few weeks when we've watched Lavington, is the work rate of their midfielders is second to none. Their work rate is phenomenal, getting back in the defensive 50 to help their midfield, help their defenders, and then they just run hard forward. 22-point
lead, a game-high lead to Lavington and North Albury. They look a little bit stunned here. They don't have any answers to what Lavington are throwing at them. Gardner got the ball off Winter in a 1-2. Now back to Gardner. Inboard finds its way to Penny. Penny on the right, Grubber looking kick up towards half forward. Taylor got a nice bounce, fed it nicely onto Flack. Handball inboard was okay. Here's Angus Crelly on the right, North Albury respond. The ball from Leighton popped up twice opportunistically last week, and now, just what the doctor ordered. North Albury respond with their second.
Much better entry, and as we say, Winky, speed on the ball. You know, it wasn't that long dump down the line that we've seen the last sort of 10 minutes or so. Finally, a little bit of open space, linked by hand, and a lovely clean finish from 25 out.
Those forward handballs, especially out of contest, just draw the defenders towards you, and it opens up all that space that Angus Kelly just had there running into goal. But it's come from those forward handballs. They just need to not bomb the ball straight into the 50 when they don't have a big target there.
Scam, do you think it's something North Albury are struggling to adjust to, not having a marking presence inside 50?
They certainly are. I think you saw that, you know, we had Tim Broomhead as a key target there as a shallow entry as they go in again, and another mark to Lavy.
And Alex Bennett is just plucking them off for fun, so maybe they need to run the ball inside 50 or a bit of Pagan's paddock, try something different. The main break will come at a good time here for North Albury. 19 minutes gone thanks to NZ in the second term. Thanks to Jaco as Hargrave has the ball across half-back for Lavington. Not his best kick, finds its way to Jack Glanville, who retreats back to O'Brien, inboard to Billy Glanville. His numbers on the 40 winks.
Billy's up to 18 on the 40 wing stat sheet, Gussie. Absolutely having a field day out there today.
Rigoni fed the ball to Flack, and Flack opted to go out wide. Here's Mooney trying to find George Goody. George is going to have to crumb this. Hot on his heels was Glanville, fed the ball back inboard. Now Kai Davies for Lavington. On to Darcy Smith, who kicks across his body to a one-on-one contest. Well done, Charlie Sanson. Made a good go of it. Reynolds is on his bum, to put it nicely. And he's wrapped up in a tackle by Aidan Cook.
Yeah, young Charlie Sanson, we mentioned him a couple of times, hasn't been able to clunk it, but just, you know, if you are caught behind, be able to keep, bring the ball to ground and cause a forward 50 stoppage here.
Particularly with the smalls and the way they're going for Lavington, that's all Charlie has to do. Here's Hargrave trying to wrestle his way through this contest on hands and knees. Nice tackle applied.
They plucked a free kick here,
Gussie. Free kick to Darcy Smith, and Jack Reynolds is furious about it. Darcy Smith, I reckon this will just be in his range. Scam will kick from 50 on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, you never know with Darcy what you're going to get, mate. It wouldn't surprise me if he even tried to play on or do something a bit funky. He's a unique character, but yeah, I mean, you have to kick from what, 52?
51, 52 metres, I reckon. He popped up with 2 goals last week with Darcy Smith.
I like what he brings, extreme pace and just pressure on the ball. But like you said, Scam can get a bit of a mixed bag with Darcy.
He's like a bag of mixed lollies. Some are good, some are not so good. Top of the goal square goes Darcy Smith. It's across the face. And North Albury survive a scare. We'll have a boundary throw in right in front of the CMV truck and bus scoreboard, which shows Lavington 32 to North Albury 16.
Like we mentioned earlier, the inside 50s, we've got 4 this quarter for Lavington, 7 for North Albury, but Lavington hit the scoreboard 3 times.
Mooney and Driscoll both left it behind in the ruck. It went over their heads. Mooney absorbed in a nice tackle from Douglas. Umpire says he threw it. So a free kick to Lavington here. Charlie Douglas. I think he's just going to be too far to score. Lowers the eyes into the pocket. Reading it nicely was Archie Gardner. In the hole for the North Albury Hoppers. He's going to kick out wide to Julian Hayes.
Slow play again, Gussie here. This is where you want North to just be composed, chip mark for a little bit and work their way through and then get speed on the ball once they can. Looking to switch across.
And it's a nice kick from Julian Hayes, trying to open up the fat side of the ground. He finds Jack Penny, and Penny kicks down the line trying to find Rigoni. Went over his head, but he had speed and a few metres on his opponent. Inboard, nice looking ball to Campbell. Campbell goes via hand to George Goody. George on to Dennis. Winter wrapped up in a tackle, but the umpire said no prior opportunity. Will ball it up on the edge of the centre square.
Gussie, I mentioned Ben Rigoni hadn't touched the ball earlier. In the last 5 minutes, he's had 6 40-wing stats.
Ruck really? Infringement, going to go the way of North Albury.
Not much in it.
It's going to be big moons. Goes via hand, and Hayes has got to get rid of it quickly. He does. Dump kick inside 50. 2-on-2. Taylor brought it front and square. Dogger Dennis is there, but he's wrapped up in a Jesse Hart tackle. And we'll ball it up 25 metres out from Lavington, North Albury goal.
As you said, Gussie, another dumped kick. That, you know, the Lavington coaching staff will be so pleased with that. Pressure on Hayes coming inside 50.
How many intercept marks for Lavington, Wink?
Got him up to 6, Gussie.
Part North Albury need to nullify. Here's Jack Costello. Doesn't have anything to kick to, so he goes a high up and under and hopes for the best, but it's turned over. Ball's in the hands of Isaac Campbell. Peppers, they call him. Couldn't tell you why or what for, but here he is on the left. Dinky dump kick inside 50. Lavington have numbers everywhere once again, one of whom is Nick Newton, who finds the left out to the broadcast side wing. The mark's been taken by Sean Driscoll. He's popped up with 3 goals in a mark of an A contender, Shawnee Drizz. That'll be very good in my fantasy team. Across half-back for the Panthers, on the right, looks to gain yardage here for Lavington, long down the line. Back of the contest was Sanson, now Aidan Cook. Handball was turned over. Julian Hayes got it via Mooney. Now a little link-up plays on here with Darcy Cullen. Centre half-back, the left footer. Once again, a dump kick from North Aubrey. This might work out okay. Dennis handballs and he retreats. Gardner got the ball onto McKenzie inside 50. One-on-one battle, Lavington win it. But now the ball's in dispute via a poor handball. Opportunity to break the way through the contest. McKenzie finds it on the left. Top of the goal, scores out the legs. I reckon it does. Jordan McKenzie returns to North Aubrey in 2025 after a stint at midder in the TDFL. His first game of senior footy for the year and his first goal for the North Aubrey Hoppers, a much needed one as North kick back to back.
They did. Again, we keep putting numbers inside 50. We keep saying it, but yeah, did really well there, McKenzie. Just find a little bit of space, just enough space, and slot it through on the left.
Julian Hayes, boys, is up to 15 disposals. He's the one that's really just getting that ball and just trying to drive inside 50 for North. But one stat that Lavington's dominating is the centre clearances. They're up to 7 centre clearances to North Aubrey's 2.
Lavington will be really ruining this. All of a sudden, the margin's back to 10 points at the 25-minute mark. In a quarter, they just simply dominated the first 20 minutes of. 10-point ball game for C&B, truck and bus. Lavington over North on O&M Live. As Archer Gardner wins the clearance, but the kick went as the siren sounds for the main break here at the Lavington Sports Ground. And Lavington will be ruining their chances as they coughed up a strong 22-point lead for the margin to sit at 10 points at the main break. 5-2-32 to North Aubrey, 3-4-22 here on O&M Live. And the second term is done and dusted for Jaco Aubrey-Wodonga. Stick with us. A big halftime show coming your way next. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.
Agribusiness specialists and Polaris dealership, Shoeback Street, Albury.
O&M Live on 2AY.
Welcome back to the Lavington Sports Ground. Half-time here between North Albury and the Lavington Panthers on the home side. They have their noses in front by 10 points. Goals here on O&M Live, and we've had 3 to Sean Driscoll for the Lavington Panthers and singles to Aidan Cook and Jack Driscoll, whilst all individual goal kickers for the North Albury Hoppers. 1 to Flack, 1 to Crelly, and 1 to Jordan McKenzie. Gus McLeod, David Wink and Liam Scammell with you here on O&M Live in the Elders Rural half-time show. And gentlemen, it was a really topsy-turvy game of footy. I think Lavington would probably be really happy with the game, the style and which way the game's been played in the first half.
Yeah, you're spot on, mate. I think coming in, it's been played exactly how Lavington would have wanted it. You know, a lot of numbers around, highly contested, and as we said, coming in North without Minogue and Murphy and those big targets up forward, it's just been tough to get through the Lavington numbers and just haven't had that big marking forward. They've tried weaving Wink forward, but that hasn't really worked. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of adjustments they can make at half-time.
I'm not sure what levers they've got to pull there. I think Tim Broomer needs to go into the midfield. They're getting beaten at the centre clearances 6-3, and they won 2 of those very late in that quarter. So at one stage it was 6-1 in the centre clearances, and they're just getting beaten out of the middle of the ground at the moment. But then the back end of that quarter, they've really got moving. I mentioned probably halfway through that quarter, Archie Gardner and Ben Negroni hadn't touched the ball. Archie Gardner finished with 8 disposals and Ben Negroni finished with 6. I reckon that was in about a 10-minute spout where North Albury got on top.
And I think the Lavington Footy Club, whilst at half-time they'll be happy in which the game's played, the fact that they've had a total dominance in the second quarter, but allowed North Albury to kick 2 goals quite late in the 18th and 24th minute mark of the game, despite the fact there's only been 8 goals kicked for the contest. That'd be something that they'd be, I suppose, quite disappointed about, Scam, considering how well their back six has played.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, mate. I guess to a degree it's the nature of that sort of style of play, isn't it? It's going to be, reasonably low-scoring sort of game. So, it'll keep North in it. And fortunately enough for them, they were able to sort of squeeze a couple of scrappier sort of ones, Wink, late in the quarter to keep in touch at half-time.
Yeah, that's right, Scam. But the inside 50 numbers, North Albury actually have 19 playing Lavington 13. So Lavington's efficiency when they go inside 50 is sensational at this point of the game. But the way their back six is defending it, the Wayne Rovers back six is the best in the competition. But this Lavington back six is really making a statement so far this season, Gussie, to be number 2 in that category.
Yeah, I think so. And they're playing, I suppose, both sides have shown why they're playing to their strengths. A bit more so Lavington, but the best bit of play we've seen from North Albury, probably 2 or 3 occasions, just when they have gone to that run and gun style of play where they kick mark, and then allow their ball users to run and carry. And that's got to be the message at halftime, doesn't it, Scam, for North Albury? Let's go back to our DNA and try and break open a few more lines. Now that means being more patient with the kick mark style of game that North Albury like to play, and then pull the trigger at the right moment. They're going to have to be a little bit more patient.
Yeah, it's that balance, isn't it, mate? At times they maybe just haven't been quite patient enough with that chip mark, controlled possession. And I think we saw the stats coming in. I think it was 111 marks or something that they took last week against Albury, and they lead the competition 4 marks. So we know that they do like to be able to control the ball, and then obviously be able to get speed back on the ball once it opens up, once they see that opportunity. Julian Hayes has probably been the one that they want the ball, really in the hands of him coming across half back wink. And what are his numbers, mate, if we touched on those?
Yeah, so in the 14 stat sheet, Julian's up to 16 disposals. We talk about them dumping the ball inside 50. Julian's that one for North Albury that really drives it inside forward 50, but they haven't been able to take advantage of it. While he's getting the ball, and he's got a lot of those in the back end, they want him getting the ball in the front half of their ground so he can drive those balls instead of going sort of 40 metres out. They're going to the top of the goal square, and they need Harry Weaven, Leighton Taylor, Dogger Dennis to make a contest and clunk a couple of marks inside forward 50.
We can give us some numbers that matter on the 40-wing stat sheet. Anything that's standing out to you for good, bad, or indifferent reasons?
Yeah, so Billy Glanville, we spoke about him pre-game. We know he can just find the footy at will. He's up to 18 disposals. Jack Costello, this kid, the way he pushes back inside defensive 50 is as good as anyone in the competition who runs through the midfield. He's up to 15. Nick Newton didn't touch it in the first quarter. I didn't have him for disposal anyway, Gussie. He had 4 disposals in that quarter and used every one of them, I thought. And then Shawnee Driscoll, 7 disposals. Your man, you're a big fan of his work, the way he gets in and under and just does all the little things right. He kicked 3 goals and he's only had the 7 disposals, so North Albury would want to try and keep him under wraps. Ed Perriman's up to the 7 disposals for Lavy as well. For North Albury, just spoke about it, Julian Hayes has a 16. Arch Gardner had 14, found 8 very late in that second quarter, and when North Albury got on top, it was because he was finding the ball, creating a little bit of run. Kane Winters is up to 12, and Ben Regoni, similar to Arch Gardner, when North Albury got on top, it was when their midfielders started winning the ball. So they need those guys to do that from the first set of bounce in this second half. Otherwise, I think Lavington may be able to take advantage of it. But those guys need to find a little bit more of the footy earlier on in the quarter.
Half-time, thanks to Elders Rural here on O&M Live. Some around-the-ground scores. Half-time between Myrtleford and Yarrawonga sees the Saints up 8-4-52 to 4-5-29. This is an interesting one. The Rovers and the Raiders, 48 plays 21. That was its first versus last, and we expected that scoreboard to be probably slightly more in favour to the Rovers there. A 2-point lead at half-time to the Wodonga Bulldogs over the Wangaratta Magpies in that contest there. That one is a really intriguing game of footy on our sister station, 15-6 3&E. And whilst at the Albury Sports Ground, Coral and the Albury Tigers are putting on an absolute show. 8-3-51 to 6-8-44. Goal kickers in that game, 2 to Garthwaite for the Albury Tigers and 2 to Brady Morton and Darcy Hope for the Roos. So some really intriguing games around the grounds, and a really interesting late inclusion for the Wodonga Bulldogs today, gents. He's popped up with 2 goals. Brandon Perkin has come from the Wodonga Bulldogs thirds. He's actually 16 years old. I've just done some digging on him, Winky. He played a game for, I'm going to say, Chilton. It looks like Chilton in the TDFL under 17. So he looks to be a youngster, and the Dogs have thrown him a bone, pardon the pun. He's popped up with 2.
So I actually know this kid a little bit, Gussie. I did the under-15s Bush Rangers for a couple of years there with my former job, and Brandon actually didn't make the cut. He was very stiff not to make it, but I think you'd find he'd be 5, 6, 7 goals ahead of the thirds leading goal kicking. Tall, athletic type, and would only be, maybe 16 or 17 this year. Really lively type, tall, athletic, very raw still, but the Bulldogs obviously found one if he's popped up and kicked a couple of early goals.
And they've got their noses in front as well. Scam, what are the messages going to be from the respective coaches at the halftime break. Adam Schneider, what's he going to be saying to the Chargers?
Well, we're just chatting off air, mate, and I think for Schneider's coming in, he's had it on his terms. You know, this is exactly the way that Lavington like to play and want to play. Highly contested, high pressure game. I think that the Sean Driscoll goal in the second term there out the back, where he's taken 3 bounces and ran into an open goal square. That's the efficiency they want going inside 50. So I think Schneider would be really, really happy, really, really pleased. But having said that, with that brand, it can keep the score low and a close contest. So from Schneider's, I think it'll just be more of the same. In terms of Broomhead, Winky, I mean, North have just got to open it up. As we've mentioned speed on the ball a few times, but every time you look inside 50, it's just, a clutter of numbers and numbers behind the ball from Lavington.
Yeah, the work rate of Lavington's sensational. I mentioned it during that second quarter. But Gussie, one thing I want to ask you, you've coached a little bit before. With Lavington trying to stretch the ground, pushing all their numbers into the defensive 50 and then pushing it back, how as a coach do you think Tim Broomhead tries to combat that?
Well, there's 2 ways you can go about it. You can fight fire with fire and try and outplay them at their own game, which I don't think is going to work. Or you can make some positional changes. And I'd be having a lot of the more composed and really good ball users by foot and hand across the back line and maybe the wing. Maybe make a positional change on the wing, whether it's a bit of height on the wing, someone like a Leighton Taylor who can take a contested mark, because where it's breaking down for them, they're doing a really good job at half back, getting the ball onto the wing. It's that next kick going inside forward 50. So some new looks will come if you bring some tools up the ground to maybe a bit of a small ball, try and bring a few of the Lavington tools out of their spot inside attacking 50. They've just got to throw the magnets around, because what they're doing at the minute just simply isn't working, and I reckon that's something Timmy would have addressed with the troops at the halftime break. There's the halftime show done and dusted, thanks to Elders here on O&M Live. And before we go to the break, Ree and Tam from our O&M Live netball team, they broadcasted Lavington versus North Albury in the A-grade netball. And to wrap up the day's play, thanks to Ray White Rule, here's Ree and Tam on O&M Live.
This is Tamara Matthews with the O&M Live netball wrap-up, thanks to Ray White Wodonga. Today we broadcast the game between the Lavington Panthers and the North Albury Hoppers, and it was an absolute cracker as we predicted. Did go down to the last quarter, both sides even all the way throughout the game, but it was North Albury who took their 2024 form into the last quarter and went ahead, securing the win at 43-37 at the final siren. For the North Albury Hoppers, Maddie Lischke through the midcourt was outstanding and really well supported by her sister, Alyssa Lischke, on the other wing. While for the Panthers, coach Sarah Meredith led from the front. Her defensive work was outstanding and she was really well supported by Maddie Lloyd in the midcourt. So North Albury look like they'll maintain top position as we head into round 5. This has been O&M Live Netball, thanks to Ray White Wodonga.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.
Not too far away from the Wiesner's third term getting underway. Gus McLeod, David Wink, Liam Scammell with you on O&M Live, and a really important quarter here, gents. The premiership quarter is about to kick off.
Tim Broomhead into the middle of the ground. Tom Hargraves has gone with him straight away. We called for that at half time, Tim to insert himself on the game. He's gone in there straight away, but Hargraves has gone with him.
I like this. I like it a lot. Let's get the big game plays in the big game moments. In the big spots. Broomhead into the guts. Mooney versus Jack Driscoll for the Lavington Panthers, and we're underway in the third term thanks to Wiesner's, and right on cue. Here's Tim Broomhead with a clearance for the Hoppers inside 50, but Jesse Hart crumbed. Nice work, Dennis. Crumbed it, picked it up. Annette got him in a tackle. Umpire said no pry and we'll ball it up.
Straight away there, Tim Broomhead has an impact. We called for it. He's an absolute gun of this competition, and if North are to win, he needs to get his hands on the footy.
So inside 50 now of the Hoppers as Hargrave throws it across his body. Dump kick in the corridor. Dangerous if Lavington get a bounce. Nice work, Gardner. Here's Archie Gardner. Just kicks towards grass, trying to get it to his own advantage. One-on-one. Well done, Archie Gardner. But equally well done, Ed Perryman. Mopped up nicely with class. Kicked down the line. He was pushed as he was kicked. Enough to allow James Pope to intercept nicely for the Hoppers scam.
It was indeed, mate. Two young guns in the competition going head at it there. Archie Gardner as we go long down the line.
Big Popey with a booming left foot kick. Right on Jesse Hart, got the ball front and square, poked forward by Flynn Gardner for the North Albury Hoppers. Annette came off his line, met the contest head on, and Dennis took it across the chalk for another boundary throw-in. So no change to the scoreboard here on O&M Live as we played 90 seconds for NZ. And a boundary throw-in, 60 metres out from North Albury goal. Mooney in the ruck for the Hoppers today up against Driscoll, leaving it behind, which allowed Patton to bomb it on the left boot, high up and under for Lavington. Chaos ball, Sean Driscoll marks. It's going to be deja vu. Running inside 50, opts to dribble this one. Dribbling, missing. He just poked at that one. Scam would have loved to have seen him kick through the ball.
Yeah, and just needed to kick through it. That's a look we've seen multiple times today, Winky, just lavvy out the back with space. That chaos ball, just getting it out the back, and Sean Driscoll nearly the benefactor again.
He's looked very dangerous today, Shawnee Driscoll.
Julian Hayes kicks to a genuine one-on-one, and Leighton Taylor, I reckon he got a good enough piece of that. Hart got a fist. The umpire said not enough. Pope inside 50 now. Lavington on the press. On hands and knees, well done by Campbell. Picked up and wrapped up in a tackle, will ball it up. And that was a clear set play, that from Leighton Taylor and Julian Hayes. He timed his lead quite late to make an effective D50 exit. Here's Cook for Lavington, throws on the boot. Goody went to smother, left it behind. Charlie Sanson and Pope for Lavington and North Albury respectively. Sean Driscoll now joins in. Dump tackle from Tim. Umpires paid it.
Yeah, that one was
the two-motion tackle was there, Scam, and it's going to be a free kick for Lavington, 20 metres out.
Yeah, it's a good call from you, a long way off the play, but just a dump tackle from Broomhead and a little bit to go on with as well.
He's reversed it.
I can only assume that's for lip, boys. I've got no idea.
Nah, Tim Broomhead got thrown around, got thrown to the ground there, Gussie.
That's a real coach killer, particularly if North Albury can convert the next goal. Would have been a very easy look from 20 metres out in a slide angle. Big moment in this third term thanks to Weasness as Broomhead exits D50 for the North Albury Hoppers out to the Velodrome side. Now the ball's in dispute. Pinballs around between centre wing and half back as they kick the ball forward via Penny. Nice pick up here by Leighton Taylor on the right, top of the goal square. Here's Big Weevo. Needs a bounce, does Harry. Open goal. Harry goes bang. North Albury go coast to coast. After a certain look on goal, a free kick was reversed and now North Albury can pay the ultimate price. It's Weevo's first goal, and the first goal of the third term goes the way of the Hoppers.
Yeah, you called it beautifully, mate. An absolute coach killer there. The turnover at one end and what was going to be a nearly certain goal for Lavington. And then going the other way, it was a look, Winky, that we just have hardly seen. Space out the back this time for North Albury. It's what we've seen for Lavy throughout the day. But Weaven was able to find a bit of space, and our man Leighton Taylor just put it out in front of him.
Adam Snyder would be absolutely furious with that, boys.
He's not a noted goal kicker, is Weevo. He's normally the bloke that stops him. Harry Weaven. I reckon it could be one of his first goals for North Albury as they win the clearance via Broomhead once again inside 50. Dennis tapped it nicely onto the overlapping run of Leighton Taylor. 2 minutes for North. They hit the front. Adam Snyder will be absolutely furious. North Albury kicked 2 goals in under a minute and they lead by 1 point for Inspirations Paint.
Boys, Tim Broomhead, 2 centre clearances in this quarter. I don't know why he didn't do it earlier, but he's resulted in that goal there. And North Albury all of a sudden have hit the lead.
Yeah, spot on, mate. And that's what half-time can do, can't it, Winky? Just give you that time to just adjust and think. And obviously, Broomhead needed to get himself back in and impact the contest, and he's been able to do that in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
He's been brewing here early, boys. North Albury look to get on top.
They've clearly made some changes at half-time because they've been dominant here. Now Lavington, it's your turn to respond. Jack Driscoll from the contest, kicks on the right, up to half forward, and the mark's being taken by Jack Glanville. He's wearing the long sleeves today, lowers the eyes, not the best looking kick. Billy Glanville retreats via hand to O'Brien. Now Hargrave, the no-look handball, onto Billy Glanville, back to O'Brien. Right foot kick, chips it up, good contest, should be a high free kick. It's going to be paid to North Albury, and Gardner's going to be the recipient. This is Foster, and he's going to chip the ball out to the pocket. David Wink for 40 winks.
Yeah, Tim Broom had 3 disposals early in this quarter. It's really started well, as we've said. Julian Hayes as well, very composed across that back 6.
Really good defensive pressure from the North Albury Hoppers. As the mark has been taken out wide, it's Caden Winter. His numbers, David, for 40 winks?
This will be number 15 for Caden.
The Wiz with a well-weighted kick, nice one. Finds its way to Reynolds. He looks for an option by hand. He has none, so he waits for an option to present now. He's going to go long down the Velodrome side for the North Albury Hoppers to a contest. Leighton Taylor, good mix out in front. First time he's really had strong hands and not allowed Jesse Hart to intervene. He goes with a dinky kick, and this is much better build-up scam from North Albury. The ball's in the hands of Broomhead.
Composed as they go forward here without that dump kick inside, just holding up around the arc. Now Broomhead's got to find a target inside 50.
Umpire calls him to play on. It's a chiselling ball into the pocket. He tried to find Penny, didn't quite have the accuracy. As Nick Newton rebounds off D50. Nice work from Riley Smith up against his brother. There's a good match up there. On the Velodrome side, Nick Newton applies a tackle on Mooney and will ball it up.
He had the hands out the back there, young Smith. He just tried to sort of knock it on, but probably had to take possession and just give that hands out the back.
We'll get Winky to go around the grounds thanks to Mr. So's Pool World shortly. As we've got the ball on the Velodrome side here. Hacked forward by the Lavington Panthers. Nice link-up play here from Clemson, inboard to Billy Glanville. Now he finds brother Jack, the left footer. Glanville inside 50 to a one-on-one contest. Well done to the back of the pack by Foster Gardner. Sean Driscoll bit off more than he could chew, and he's done holding the ball. Liam Scammell, Newmarket Hotel.
A real turnaround in momentum here, boys. North kicked 4 on the trot, 2 late in that first half, and in the first 2 here in the second half as well. So they're getting it back on their terms, and Winky finding a bit of space out the back with their entries, which is something we haven't seen.
You're spot on, Scam. Yeah, we've got to stop us here. We'll go round the grounds for Mr. Stokes Pool. We've got an absolute ball terror in the Lavington District Footy League. Yakandana 9 goals, 357 plays Laguna 7 goals, 850 at half time of that one. 2 sides that really need to win in that comp.
Yakandana 0-4. Of course, the premiership fancy again this year in the reigning premiers in the Dunstan City Cranes TDFL. We'll get some O&M ones shortly as Glanville fed a handball out. Umpire said it was legal. Nick Newton on the right, inside 50. Sean Driscoll. Oh, did he get on the second, third bite? Umpire said no. Well done by Cullum, the last line of defence. The North Albury back 6. He's proving to be a handful, is Shawnee Driscoll inside 50.
He's been dangerous all day, mate. Yeah, he'd be disappointed not to clunk that one. But he's still looking dangerous down there deep for Lavy.
He's probably the smallest player on the ground and playing as if he's one of the biggest is Shawnee Driss. He's already kicked 3. As the ball goes out of bounds for another boundary throw-in. David Winnips, some around the grounds in the O&M, thanks to Mr. Stowes. What's the game that's catching your attention?
The one that's catching my attention is, we mentioned it a couple of times, the Albury-Corra game. Corra 9 goals, 357 lead Albury, 6 goals, 945. So Albury having plenty of shots on goal, just not converting by the looks of the scoreboard.
Davies in the ruck, not a massive tap. Glanville, this is Jack. It's Billy, in fact, through the big sticks. Something from nothing from the Lavington Panthers, and Billy Glanville kicks a much-needed goal against the run of play for the Panthers.
Doing what he does best, Bussy, just finding it in and around the contest, and just managed to find a couple of metres of space inside 50 off the contest there and snap it through.
22 stats on the 40-wing stat sheet for Billy. He's on track for an absolute monster game if he keeps up this rate of finding the footy. He's going to finish with close to 40, I think, doesn't he? I
think so. 5-point lead here to the Lavington Panthers, thanks to Inspirations Paint. Now we're starting to get a more exciting game here on O&M Live. 6-3-39 to 5-4-34. Lavington over the Hoppers, thanks to Inspirations Paint. A bit of an interesting ruck contest there. Both ruckmen just stood there and wrestled, and the umpire says, I didn't throw it up well enough, so we can do it again. So we're back in the middle. Give that one to Mooney. Went to tap at the back of the contest, and here's Broomhead really starting to dominate the centre clearances. Inside 50, well-weighted ball. North have numbers. Penny feeds it out backwards. Riley Smith left it behind. Nice work there from Rigoni. His handball was too hot for Penny. Now Lavington mop up nicely across half-back. Well done by Douglas. Now the ball's on to Caleb Clemson, who kicks long down the line. And it's a turnover as North Albury regain possession. Inboard kick is nice. Rigoni's got plenty of space, but no one to really kick to. It's a clear plan. They want to measure the ball going inside 50 and lower the eyes. Flack dropped it, gathered it, dispossessed now outside on the far side. Smith comes back inboard to Winter. Winter tries to centre the ball. Newton from the back of the contest, picked up nicely by Hayes. Julian Hayes! This game's really opening up as Hayes kicks a bomb from 45. Picked it up opportunistically, straight through the big sticks. You can't give that bloke too much space inside 50.
Yeah, he's a guy we've mentioned multiple times today, beautiful user, and he celebrated that one early, Winky. He threw it on the right shoe, slotted it through goalpost height and absolutely flushed it.
Yeah, Julian Hayes up to 19 disposals. The 40-wing stat sheet, he's an absolute star. Gussie, 3 scoring shots to North Albury this quarter, 3 goals.
And I think it's all correlating, Scam, by the move we not necessarily called for, but wanted to see. Tim Broomhead in the middle. I reckon he's won 3 centre clearances already off his own boot.
Spot on, mate. Absolutely.
Hot start here to the Wiesner's third term as Glanville gets the ball onto Costello, who kicks inside 50 here for the Lavington Panthers. Shallow entry now at exits as Hayes links up nicely with Gardner over the top. Weaven. The backman turned attacker today for the North Albury Football Club. Dispossessed, balls in dispute, stoppage, and now we'll ball it up. On the Velodrome side, half forward here for the Lavington Panthers. 12.5 gone for NZ. Driscoll goes up in the ruck, slaps it forward. Nice link-up play from Lavington as Hargrave kicks inside 50, looking for Smith. Made a good contest. Nice pick-up, Aidan Cook. Comes inboard. Glanville, this is Jack. Did he get taken high? Great tackle from Julian Hayes. Kept the hands below head height and saved a certain shot on goal.
Yeah, he did. Nearly holding the ball there too, Gussie.
Try and take him on. That's the voice of Liam Scammell for the Newmarket Hotel. Pot shot, top of the goal square. Mark's taken Charlie Sanson. Really good lead-up play from Charlie. Kept his defender on his back hip, attacked the ball nicely, and Charlie Sanson can respond from Lavington, or for Lavington, 15 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, nice for the young key forward to get a look at it here. He's competed hard all day and been, able to bring the ball to ground in a number of 50-50 contests, and now got his chance to slot one through himself.
This will put Lavington in front by 5 points if Charlie can salute at the Hannah Street end. Yet to find the big sticks today is young Sanson. This one for a confidence booster. Comes in as he snuck it through. He made the goal umpire work. He has 5-point lead to Lavington, and it's the 4th league change of the 3rd term at the 13.5-minute mark, thanks to Wiesners.
That's his 5th goal for the year, Charlie Sanson. The last couple of weeks is, like Scam said, he's been competing all day. And then the last couple of weeks there's been a 5-10 minute period where he's actually clunked those big ones that he's jumped up for in the contest, gone back, and he does that part of the game really well. Went back and kicked the goal and puts Lavington back in front, Gussie.
Tale of two halves here, gents, isn't it, Scam, for the Newie?
Mate. Yeah. What are we? Probably not even 10 minutes in and 6 goals? Or are we further than that? I can't see on the score.
14 minutes. We'll have to get Scam a pair of spectacles.
Yeah.
Maybe you can have my binoculars, Scam, because I'm not seeing all that well either. Here's Crelly. Up towards half forward, Leighton Taylor. He's had a really good start to the 3rd term. Handballing board was plucked off nicely. That was good work from Perryman. Now Clemson, handballs back. Billy Glanville racking up the 40 winks disposals. Kicks long down the line. Free kick. Anyone see that one, gents?
I did. Driscoll just hands in the back, boys, trying to push him under it. Georgie Goody, but free kick North Albury.
And this is something North have done much better at in the second half. Kicking long down the line, but might have done the commentator's curse. George Goody turns it over. And Alex Bennett's a free kick. So Leighton Taylor against Bennett, Scam for the Newie.
I've got no idea what that reversal
Pushed under it, boys.
Pushed under it, there you go.
So he's kicks I should say, to Archie Gardner, who on the right boot comes inboard on the 45. That's a nice looking play. Here's Broomhead. Got it off by Rigoni inside 50. Too much on it for Penny. Out the back, Lavington have numbers. Well done, Perryman. Now Gaffney forced to dump it long down the line, looking for the boundary line. A net, and Campbell, and a net.
Holding the ball, boys.
Oh, Brendan Llewellyn's found a free kick there, Scam for the Newie. And I tell you what, North Albury, they're not overly happy about the follow-up play here.
A little bit to go on with.
I think Pepper's got the ball thrown at his head, Gussie. That's what the North boys weren't too happy about.
Oh, well, Peppers is he's a big boy. He can handle that. So Peppers Campbell's got it 65 out from goal, maybe 60. Junction of the arc and the boundary line. He's going to centre this one top of the goal square. Needs a flyer. Big Jack Driscoll. Got to pay the man in front. Takes an elite body and paint mark of the day on the last line of defence for Lavington.
Big, strong mark. That's what you like from your ruckman, just rolling back.
I was probably a little bit strong and didn't mince my words on Jack during the week, but he's playing a really complete performance today.
I thought you were a bit harsh on him.
That's okay. Lavington can thank me if he gets best on. With a pep in his step. He kicks long down the line trying to find Sanson. Broomhead onto Hayes. Hayes' kick was smothered off the boot. North Albury trying to hack the ball forward, but Lavington are happy to force a stoppage 5 metres in from the boundary line. Liam Scammell for the Newmarket Hotel.
I think Winky.
Just want to mention Tim Broomhead has had 7 disposals this quarter, had 4 till half time, so he's really inserted himself and gets another one.
Top of the goal square via Broomhead, high fly, staying at ground level was Smith. Bennett for Lavington tries to exit D50, tackled as he kicked and it allowed Weaven to fly across the contest. Wants to open up the fat side for North Albury. Stefan Reynolds. Supervision from Big Wevo. And Jack Reynolds will have a set shot 40 metres out directly in front for North Albury.
Just a real contrast with their forward 50 entries from the first half to the second half, boys. They've had a lot more composure around the arc, sort of in that 70 out sort of range and finding targets inside 50 for another shot on goal for North.
So we're looking for the 5th lead change of the 3rd term. Here's Jack Reynolds. It's a pretty pacey run up. He gets close to the man on the mark, but it doesn't matter. He's straight through the big sticks. North Albury respond, and we've got some ball game here on O&M Live. North Albury hit the front. This is a great game of footy for Wiesners, boys.
Geez, I reckon he was only about a metre or two away from the man on the mark there, Gussie. Jack Reynolds got as close as he could there. But the inside 50, North Albury up to 6, Lavington 6, but North Albury in complete opposite to what they were doing in the first half, have really taken their opportunities going inside forward 50 and banged on a few goals here, and they take the lead by a point. We've got an absolute ball terror scam.
We do, mate, we do. I mean, sensational job from North to turn this around. Lavi had it on their terms, playing at the style that they wanted, and North have done a great job to turn around. As I say that, Timmy Broomhead's just getting a little bit of work, I think, on his right ankle down there on the bench.
Might have leather poisoning scam.
Paddy Stowe, one of the best in the business, will attend to his needs as we're back in the middle. Caden Winter starting to get busy here for North. Well done, Newton, off the back of the stoppage. Kept momentum going Lavington's way as Kai Davies joined in the action for the Panthers. North Albury arrive and will ball it up on the edge of the centre square. 18.5 minutes gone here thanks to NZ on O&M Live, and it's a 1-point lead to the North Albury Hoppers over the Lavington Panthers. Nice tackle applied there by Flack on Hargrave. We'll have a stoppage. Some 40 winks, David.
Jack Costello's only had the one disposal in this quarter, and they probably need him to find the footy and get the ball moving in Lavington's forward line.
Campbell sells a bit of candy. Heavy handball, got its way out to Archie Gardner now, who's got a player in space. It's Penny, who's covered in mud. Right foot kick into the pocket. Nice one to Dennis. Now, Dennis, he's a fair way out here. They are deep pockets at Lavington, and he's going to have to kick this one, I'm going to say, 45 metres on the junction of the boundary line and the 50 arc, Scammer.
Yeah, spot on. A tough shot, mate. But again, composure going inside 50 to set up another shot on goal for North.
Total contrast from the first half of the way they've got the ball inside 50. You got marks inside 50 today?
Not for North Albury. We're doing rebound 50s for them, Gussie.
Top of the goal square, Dogger Dennis looking to find Taylor. But the goal umpire is going to overrule him here and say it crossed the line.
Ooh.
No, he's not.
The goal umpire called that a behind.
Goal umpire called it behind. Field umpire. No, the right decision is going to be made here. It's a minor score. Taylor marked it across the face. So the margin goes out to 2 points here for the North Albury Hoppers thanks to Inspirations Paint. 47-45 as Lavington want to bring it out of their D50 and come long down the broadcast side wing. 2-on-2. Lavington, they win the contest here. The ball's in the hands of Darcy Smith. Nick Newton certainly is a weapon when he kicks in from fullback. How are his numbers on the 40 minutes?
Yeah, he's up to his 6 disposals, but just the way he bombs the ball and uses it can Lavy forward momentum.
Jack Glanville, second bite of the cherry, got the ball on to Swinnerton. Tried to take him on now. North Albury avail from the back D50 contest. Nice raking handball over the top. Here's Foster Gardner through the centre of the sports ground for North. Lowers the eyes. Leighton Taylor, 55 from home, wants to wait for the right option. But it allows Lavington to have numbers slot back into the hole. Now it's a really congested forward line awaiting. He's going to build up with a steady approach here and then opts to chip out wide. Rigoni bit off more than he can chew, trying to take on Perryman. Handball trying to find Leighton Taylor, who's been really good in the third. Handball's backwards to Mooney for North Albury. Mooney lowers the eyes and there's a mark inside 50. And it's going to be, is it Winter? It is, it's Caden Winter who's got Sheraton in hand. 40 metres out, slide angle, Liam Scammell for the Newmarket.
It's been the story of this quarter, boys, just that composure around the arcs and that time from the big ruckman Mooney, again being able to lower the eyes and just spot up a target inside 50.
Caden Winter's numbers, thanks to the 40 winks, David.
This will be 16 here for Caden. He's going to be 6th of the quarter too, Gussie.
And his chance for a look on the big sticks. It's a high up and under, doesn't quite have the legs. Bennett and Hart for Lavington, happy to tap it across the face for a minor score. 48 plays 45 in favour of the North Albury Hoppers. Thanks to Wiesners as the ball comes in from full back and it makes its way to Jesse Hart. So Hart goes over the top here and he finds Chris Annette. Lavington will really love the next one here on O&M Live as they stream long down the Velodrome side. They're going to kick up to half forward here. The Panthers do a 2-on-2. Keep an eye on Gardner. He flew across the contest. Landed in George Goody's lap when he didn't expect it. And Jack Driscoll wraps him up in a tackle. They go coast to coast and get a stoppage here to the Panthers inside 50.
Have we got inside 50s for this quarter, Wing?
Yeah, so inside 50s this quarter for Lavington is 7 to North Albury's 9.
They've got to start capitalising here, the Panthers. Only managed to kick for 2 goals this term and 4 to the North Albury Hoppers at the 22-minute mark. We're edging closer to the final break. Umpire throws the footy aloft. Mooney, he won it down. Inside 50 go Lavington via Annette, looking to find Charlie Sanson. He got it. Good mitts from Charlie. Liam Scammell for the Newmarket Hotel. He's competed well all day.
He has, mate. He's competed really well all day, as we were saying before, and that's a big contested grab there for young Charlie as he goes back to have a look for his second for the quarter.
Charlie Sanson. Hasn't necessarily been his day, but if he can pop up with a few moments, it'll pay dividends for Lavington. This to give him the lead back once again by 3 points. He'll kick from 30 metres out on the slightest of angles to the Hannah Street end. Looking for goal number 2 in the third term. Here's Charlie. Right foot kick is beautiful. Sanson kicks his second. Lavington kick their 8th. And they're back in front by 3 points thanks to Inspiration's paint.
Gussie, I mentioned it after his first goal. He has moments in games where he can just pop up, and when he gets shots on goal, he's a very good set shot. Charlie Sanson, brilliant effort there, goes back and slots that one. Billy Glanville had 5 disposals early. He's gone a bit cold. Jack Costello is still only the one this quarter. Ed Perryman 2, but Lavington find themselves in front.
So a really, really big goal here in the magnitude of this game via Charlie Sanson for the Lavington Panthers. 24 minutes gone here thanks to NZ Albury as Mooney retreats from the centre stoppage to Julian Hayes. The vice-captain for the Hoppers in a beautiful link. This is a nice play here from North. Penny's got a paddock of space on the velodrome side. Waits and assesses his options. Takes 2 bounces. Kicks inside 50. Well done, Billy Glanville. Elite body and paint marker today as the on-baller floated back courageously, Scam.
He's been everywhere all day, boys. Mostly on the inside is where we've seen him do his work, but to float back inside D50 and take an intercepting mark there, really important.
Hargrave attacks the corridor. Winky called for this man to get busy. Here's Costello back onto Billy Glanville. Inside 50 go Lavington and a nice mark taken by Pope. And unlucky not to receive a 50-metre penalty there was James Pope. He looks to be a real find for North.
Yeah, he's been great, especially the last couple of weeks. He's exactly what they needed in that big, tall defender.
Ball's across half back on the velodrome side for North Albury in the hands of Jack Reynolds, who lowers the ice. The Tim Brumett has been really busy in the third term, Winky on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, 10 disposals for Tim on the 40-wing stat sheet. He's been enormous. Had 3 centre clearances as well.
How's the vision and the courage to attack the corridor? 3-on-1 found Hayes, but Hayes' handball missed Archer Garner. They weren't on the same page. Lavington arrive in numbers and we cause a stoppage. We'll ball it up. I don't mind that from North, trying to take the game on and maybe try and pick one late here. In the third term, Jack Driscoll took it out of the ruck and kicked it long down the line. Sean Driscoll, second bite of the cherry. Umpire said he got it fair. Lowers the eyes inside 50. Pope, well done once again, but Lavington out the back. Joe the Goose, Charlie's got 3. Charlie Sanson putting together a really important third term for the Lavington Panthers. He's kicked 3 goals in a period of 15 minutes. And Lavington kicked back-to-back goals for the first time since the second term.
He's been huge, young Charlie. Again, just did well to get on the end of one loose out the back. Competed hard in that first half without the rewards, and to kick 3 in 15 minutes here is really keeping, well, more than keeping them in it, putting 10 points up.
He's the only big forward out there today, isn't he? And he's just competed all day. Done really well, and those Joe the Gooses over the top are a reward for all the hard work he's done and competed so well.
9-point lead here to the Panthers on O&M Live. So he played 26.5 for NZ. Getting busy here is Perryman for Lavington. Kicking up to half. Kai Davies has marked this, but he's going to have to kick it all of 55 metres as the thirds boys come onto the ground, and they're going to warm up under lights here at Lavington. 3-quarter time on O&M Live. I'll tell you what, some ball game we've got. 9-3-57 the Panthers, of the Hoppers 7-6 48 on O&M Live. Stick with us. A massive final term coming your way on O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.
Sheds, 100% locally owned and operated.
O&M Live on 2AY.
Welcome back to O&M Live. We'll get to Liam Scammell shortly, but David Wink, I need to get the quarter's best for C&L shower screens and wardrobes on O&M Live in the third term as the game really opened up.
Yeah, for Lavington, big Charlie Sanson down forward. We spoke about it during that third quarter. The work rate and competitive edge that he's played with all day got rewarded in that third quarter, bobbed up with 3 goals. And for North Albury, the coach inserted himself in the middle of the ground. And just as I'm looking out here, Gussie, he looks like he's going forward again. Oh no, he's in the middle of the ground.
He's in the middle, boys, yeah.
But he had 10 disposals in that game and 4 centre clearances.
And he's had a brilliant third term. Liam Scammell, his boundary side on the hallowed turf of the Newmarket Hotel. What was the messages from the respective huddles? And it looks like Schneider's has still got the Panthers in a huddle.
He has, mate, yeah. It was, as we mentioned, a few coach killers from Lavy there, and that was sort of the message, just shooting themselves in the foot, Lavy. There was a bit of praise for Charlie Sanson, who bobbed up and kicked 3. but the message was, we've just got to look after the ball and stop those costly little turnovers and shooting themselves in the foot. On the North Albury side, they were pretty pleased. It was the territory battle that they were most happy with, and the clearance game, as Winky mentioned, with Broomhead going in the middle, that they were really happy with. So watch for that in the last quarter.
And just before we let you go, Scam, conditions at ground level, what are the players working with?
Pristine, mate. In the shade here, it's a little bit slippery, but out, the majority of the ground, it's a beautiful day for footy.
Liam Scammell, boundary sign for the Newmarket Hotel. You'll make your way back into the box. Winky, let's go around the grounds to Mr. Stowe's pool world and a couple of the other games at three-quarter time. It looks like Corowa are slightly kicking away against the Albury Tigers, but we're hearing of a game at the JC Low starting to get a little bit close.
Yeah, Murderford are up by 2 points to that one. 9 goals, 5, 59. Play Yarrawonga, 8 goals, 9, 57. We know Yarrawonga haven't lost there for a few years, Gussie, so that one looks like it's going right to the end, as the game we have here today. The other one that's pretty close is the Wayne Magpies, 72 points, 11 goals, 6, 72. Play Wodonga, 9 goals, 6, 60. That one's a bit closer than we probably thought as well. And then down at the Albury Sports Ground, Cora of Rutherglen, 12 goals, 8, 80. Play Albury Tigers, 7 goals, 11, 53.
Here we go with the final term on O&M Live between the Hoppers and the Panthers. And we've got a 3-point lead. In fact, a 48-57 lead, I should say, to the Lavington Panthers. Here we go. The final turn for Mac Jack Sheds is underway, and North Albury have it at half cross, half back. As Mooney retreats, he goes finding a teammate there in Gardner, and then he goes out wide. They bring the ball inboard. The Gardner boys linking up to half forward. Nick Newton comes off the back, goes backwards to Patton, and Patton finds the left boot. A lot of space on the wing here for Jack Driscoll. He finds it onto a teammate in Hargrave. Wobbler kick inside 50. Darcy Smith had a go at that one, mopped up nicely by Flynn Gardner, who's been really impressive today for mine for the North Albury Footy Club. Out wide, Broomhead evades a bit of pressure, wants to attack the corridor, onto Winter. Winter for North Albury. Not his best kick, off the side of the boot to half forward. Great attack from Weaven. But what about the tackle from Bennett? Gee, that's a good contest, Winky. Two big bulls going head to head.
That's it, that was brilliant there. And Australia's smartest man, Harry Weaven, has been a bit of a bull up there for North Albury today. Played well, Harry.
Australia's smartest man.
That's what the president calls him.
There you go. North Albury, they retreat. Swinnerton, he got Julian Hayes in a nice tackle. Umpire said it was legal. We'll ball the footy up. On the grandstand side, slightly into attack here for the North Albury Hoppers, kicking to the Hannah Street end. Well done, Driscoll in the ruck. Ragoni breaks away from the contest. Now Flack inside 50 for North Albury. Good contest. Working hard is Foster Gardner. Head over the footy. And Alex, in fact, it's not Alex Bennett, it's Chris Annett in the last line of defence. Mops up nicely here for the Lavington Panthers. Brendan Llewellyn tosses the ball back up into play. Pinballs around, 35 metres out from North Albury goal. We'll have a stoppage once again. Winky, some early numbers on the 40 Winks.
And nothing's standing out at the moment, but Tim Broomhead again in the middle of the grounds, finding the ball and really influential in North Albury getting the momentum back in this game.
Douglas has got some work to do. Leighton Taylor tries to pirouette, but Lavington exit D50 via Chris Annett. Long down the Velodrome side wing. It's a foot race, but North Albury are going to prevail. Nice work. Inside 50 they go. North trying to find Taylor. Really good marks out in front from hands out in front from Leighton Taylor, and he'll go back and have a set shot. 40 metres out, slide angle. Liam Scammell for the Newmarket Hotel.
He's hard to miss in the long sleeves, Leighton Taylor, isn't it? It's a great strength of his, just the big jukes coming out and clunking it. And either side of the quarter, it's important to get these goals on the board, so we want to keep truly here, Leighton.
Peppers Campbell, a really nice left boot to find Leighton Taylor. He joined us on pre-game, and he misses to the left-hand side for a minor score. So North, they're going to rue their chances. 7-7, 49 and 9-3, 57. You feel a hot start here on O&M Live is going to be really crucial. As Hargrave gets the ball at full back, it come via the kick in from Patton. He's going to be on the receiving end of this once again. So Patton on the left. A methodical bit of play here from Lavington. Finds its way to Ed Perriman. His numbers, David?
Up to 11 stats on the 40-wing stat sheet, Gussie.
So he only had the 11, but he certainly makes them count when he does get Sharon in hand. He's a very good operator. Long down the line. The ruckmen go head to head, and now Pope throws it on the left, keeps it inside the field of play, and Weaven happy to assist the ball across the chalk, and in doing so he gave a little bit of whack to Ed Perriman. Boundary throw in. The umpire's blowing the whistle here. I'm not sure what for. Everyone's a little bit confused. So's the boundary umpire. After all that, we'll throw it back into play. Slightly into attack here for North Albury. Billy Glanville handballing towards a bit of space. Perryman wrapped up in a nice tackle. Will ball the footy up in the same spot once again. So 4 minutes gone here thanks to NZ. Only one score so far. It was a minor one on the border carpet scoreboard to Leighton Taylor and the North Albury Hoppers. Holding the ball, free kick, Liam Scammell for the Newey. It looks like it's going to go the way of the Lavington Panthers.
Billy Glanville, boys, I think he's been in everything all day. Maybe a little bit lucky to have that one.
Great smother from Tim Broomhead. Charlie Douglas tried to kick it down the line. The coach stepping up here for the North Albury Hoppers. Boundary throw-in, true centre wing, grandstand side.
And that's their brand, Lavy, isn't it? Pressure around the footy, and really did well for that little 1%er to get the smother and keep it locked in. Tim
Broomhead spent the first half forward following a tag. He's gone onto the midfield, and it's when North Albury have looked at their best. The person tagging him is Tom Hargrave for Lavington, and he picks up the footy but immediately tackled by Tim. Some numbers on the 40 winks, Winky, maybe some team stats that are catching your eye?
So the inside 50 is 22 up to 30 now, so North Albury getting the ascendancy there and really making the most of it as they've kicked a few goals in the second half.
Broomhead head over the footy, crunching tackle from Billy Glanville. Umpire calls for a stoppage once again, so the clearance game going to be really crucial here. Jamie Mooney up in the ruck against Jack Driscoll. The wingers and the half forwards and the half backs all join in this contest. Mooney took it out of the ruck. Umpire said he had prior opportunity and it's holding the ball. It's going to be a free kick to Costello.
Didn't they stop that rule?
I thought they did, David, but umpires found a free kick to Jack. What are his numbers for 40 winks?
This will be 18 for the young gun. He's had a bit of a quiet third quarter, but I'm sure he'll get busy here. His fitness is next level.
Finds Charlie Sanson, who's worked up past centre half forward, kicking to the fat side for Lavington. Sitting in the hole was Campbell, brought it front and centre. Gardner dispossessed. Here's O'Brien, got it from Shawnee Driz. Shots on goal, across the face from Jake O'Brien. A minor score. Lavington, they move to 9-4, 58 to North Albury, 7-7, 49 on the border carpet scoreboard.
It's a really brilliant game of footy here, going end to end. Really great stuff from both sides here, Gussie.
North Albury, coast to coast. They're going to kick inside 50. Leighton Taylor's got really busy. Back of the contest, Crelly couldn't quite find a handball target. And Bennett, happy to see it across the line for a minor score. Liam Scammell for the Newmarket Hotel.
Yeah.
How many times have the both sides gone coast to coast?
Yeah, we haven't seen that much all day at all, have we, mate? But, you know, late in the game, a few tired bodies and the game's starting to open up a bit.
Ball at half back. Patton got some more holding the ball. In fact, it was against Pat Ryan. He looks to be a little bit ginger here. Just Pope. I reckon he's got a bit of a leg complaint, boys. Watch this one. Gardner, Flynn, top of the goal square for North Albury. Broomhead's out the back. Handballs to Weaven. Weaven snaps and goes. Suntan goal today from Harry Weaven. He's kicked his second for North Albury. And the margin's back to under a kick here on O&M Live.
Yeah, class by Timmy Broomhead, in tight, just a little handball out to Weaven. Another classy finish, but yeah, put that one down to Broomhead's work inside, Winky.
Yeah, and Harry Weaven finishes off that work, and he's been in a fine for him up forward, competed really well, and also the late change, they threw the magnets around and Jamie Mooney went into the ruck. But Harry Weaven up forward, I don't know if he'll get a game there when Josh Minode comes back. I think he'll be quickly moved back, but he's been really good and effective there for North Albury today.
So 2-point lead here to the Lavington Panthers. A really nice start to the fourth term for Mac Jack Sheds. Go and see Phil Packer and the boys. Wagga Road in Lavington. As Mooney starts to get some ascendancy on the contest here up against Davies. He fed his handball back in board to the coach in Broomhead. Another clearance for Tim. North Albury inside 50. Foster Gardner got some work to do. In towards a bit of space. Douglas has got some work for North Albury. Tied up in the pocket, Gardner. This is Foster. Well done by Annette. Now Leighton Taylor tries to work his way around a couple. And the umpire said he did too much. Free kick holding the ball. Lavington are going to have the ball in the pocket with Lockie Gaffney, who's going to dangerously switch across goal, but it works out okay. Swinnerton comes in board to Nick Newton. the running half back for the Panthers, inboard to the captain, putting onto the bus, big time. Tackle, holding the ball, free kick to North Albury. I think it's going to be Rigoni, the recipient. It is. Just put his captain under a bit too much pressure there, Scam, for the new.
Yeah, we mentioned in the third quarter, and it was Schneider's message at three-quarter time, just around shooting themselves in the foot, and another one there, just a handball that didn't need to be given.
He's a booming kick of the football when he's got momentum behind him. We've seen that from the Morris medalist. Of course, the Goulburn Valley's highest individual honour.
Morrison medal?
The Morrison medal? What did I say? The Morris. Well, the Morris medal's for the Coates Talent League. He's probably good enough for winning that too. He's going to kick from 50 and he opts to sit this one to the top of the goal square. At the back of the contest was Winky's man Bennett, and he gets a big double fister across the line for a minor score. 1 point ball game, Lavington in front thanks to Border Carpets.
The old double fister Winker, you probably could have just clunked that one.
Yeah, I reckon next time you probably try and mark that, Alex.
He's in your top 5 recruits this year, Winky, so don't be too critical.
No, he's been outstanding. He's been very good today as well.
The kick from Newton at fullback was a penetrating one. He got the ball onto Costello, and now Lavington are out. Down the Velodrome side wing. Nice contest from Summers. Umpire's going to say it was a trip. I reckon he's a bit stiff there. It's going to go the way of Darcy Smith, and this is really clever here from Summers. Bought off a bit of time, but Darcy played on for the Panthers. Inside 50, great contest. Flying across was Pope. Sanson regathers on the right, out of bounds on the full. Or was it touched? I reckon it's going to be touched and brought back into play by a boundary throw-in. 40 metres out from Lavington goal.
He's been impressive, Charlie Sanson, again, just bring the ball to ground there and competing hard, Winky.
That's all you ask of a young key forward, isn't it, Scam? He's been really good. Nick Newton really getting involved in this last quarter. He's up to 3 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Boundary umpire had a pretty good throw-in, missed everyone. Now North Albury are going to run via Riley Smith. Ball lands in his lap as he handballs inboard. Finds its way to a teammate inside 50 go North Albury. One-on-one contest, Bennett and Dennis. And Alex Bennett once again. How many marks in defensive 50 after the Lavington Panthers today, Winky?
That'll be 10 for the Lavington Panthers. Intercept marks been a really staple point of their game so far this year.
Oh, dangerous kick. Now Julian Hayes gets the ball for North Albury via a turnover. Coming through was Reynolds, now Archie Garner, now back onto Julian Hayes. In towards a bit of space, Cullen on the left. Top of the goal square for the Hoppers. Kai Davies, the resting ruckman, floating back in the hole. Another one, Winky. That's why they are the best intercept marking team in the comp.
Ranked number 1, Gussie, averaging 16 intercept marks a game.
And look well and truly on track as they got the ball in the half across the back pocket. And they're going to come inboard. Dangerous looking kick. The captain got a bit of work to do. Hargrave opts to handball in towards a bit of space. Sean Driscoll, bit of soccer skills. That was Gaelic-like in the end. Bit of a toe poke into space. Broomhead's there for the Hoppers. Finds the right inboard. But sitting nicely in the hole is Nick Patton for the Newmarket Hotel. Lavington intercepts Liam Scammell.
That's 3 intercept marks now going inside 50, back to back to back for North. You know, Lavy setting up really well behind the ball, but as we said, what North did so well in that third term was composure going inside 50. Just lacked a bit of that for the start of this fourth term.
Is it Lavington zone? Is it a +1? Scam, have you noticed a change?
Haven't noticed a +1, mate. I think it's just that composure and lowering the eyes going inside, just blazing a little bit.
Long kick down the line from Patton was met nicely by North Albury in a one-on-one contest, and one sees the ball across the chalk for a boundary throw-in. True centre wing, Velodrome side.
Nick Newton again, he's had 4 disposals so far. Timmy Broomhead's up to the 4 disposals and trying to drag North Albury over the line here in this last quarter.
We'll get David Wink to go around the ground shortly, but here at the Lavington Sports Ground, it's a 1-point lead to the Panthers over North. Archie Gardner tries to bust his way forward. Tim Broomhead got taken high. Umpires put the whistle away. Now it's O'Brien for the Lavington Panthers on the right boot, up towards half forward. Clever tap forward into space for the Lavington Panthers, but North Albury via Hayes and now Goody. Over the top to Mooney. He goes by hand. Little 1-2 play onto the captain in George. And George is going to kick towards space, but it might work out okay, courageously. Reynolds went back with the flight. Well done, Annette. Shoved it into space to allow Kai Davies for the Panthers to mop up. Now on to Newton. Under the pressure is Nick. He's gone. Got the handball away in the nick of time. Now Kai Davies has some work to do. Out wide. Bennett sees it across the chalk for Lavington. Great pressure on the pill from both sides.
Yeah, game on, mate. 1 point in it last term and absolute heat on around the footy.
Around the grounds, Mr. Stubbs Pool World. Albury Tigers and Cora playing a classic. 12 goals, 8. Cora lead 80, 11-11, 77. So 3 points in that one at the sports ground.
Off half-back, Clemson. Did he get rid of it? Umpire said he didn't legally. Free kick to North, holding the ball. Inside 50 goes Winter. Open space, Flack missed it. I reckon he touched it, but Mackenzie's going to take the mark. Liam Scanlon, new mark.
They're stiff there, Lavy. Or he might have been, the umpire's coming in to have a chat here.
I reckon that there was a touch on that from Flack.
I agree, mate. And the third, another umpire's coming in.
So Brendan Llewellyn, probably the most senior umpire of the lot, has come in from 60 metres off the plate. And he's going to pay, I reckon he's going to ball it up here, gents.
Yeah. Correct decision there, because it was touched by Kane Flack before. Everyone's a bit confused though with what's going on this weekend.
No one more confused than the North Albury bench. From up here in the box, it was the right decision.
The press is not happy down there in the pink.
Common sense prevails. Here's Perryman, throws it on the left boot, just trying to gain distance and yardage here. And Sanson, that's as deliberate as you like. So it's as deliberate as you could possibly see Liam Scammell from Charlie Sanson. North Albury get it.
It was. Again, Llewellyn, I think he's made two great calls in the space of a minute there and paid the deliberate out of bounds.
Good officiating. Inside 50 go North Albury via Goody. Front and centre was Broomhead. On to Dennis, who was held without it. Umpire put the whistle away. Davies in a telephone box, got it on to Glanville. And Jack seen across the chalk for a boundary throwing 40 metres out. From North Albury goal, 58 plays 57. Lavington are in front, Liam Scammell for the Newmarket.
The ground now looks a bit more like what it did in the first half, boys. Just, all numbers up, locked around the footy, how Lavy want to set it with a lot of space out the back.
15 minutes gone for NZ. We're in attack for North Albury. We've got a whistle and a free kick. It's going to go the way of Lavington, and it's going to be Patton for the Lavington Panthers to receive it across centre-half back. He's going to come out wide to Sean Driscoll. Some numbers from David Wink.
Shawnee Driscoll is just coming up to for his 11th disposal. Gone a little bit quiet in this second half, but if anyone's going to drag Lavy over the line, it'll be him.
Dangerous ball inboard from Lavington, but up to the challenge is Chris and Ed as he marks for the Panthers across half-back. The switch is on, and that's what he's going to look to do. He goes out wide, finds a teammate. This is Ryan. Over the top for Lavington. The 1-2 wasn't on. A bit of work to do there was Douglas, well-weighted kick out wide. Bennett on the right. This is a nice bit of play here from Lavington. Swinnerton, he played on and he's got some work to do. Handball's back inboard, found its way to Bennett. Bennett opts to go inside 50 with a dump kick. O'Brien's out the back. Weaven's gone into defence for North Albury. He mops up, gathers his footy and absorbed in a big crunching tackle, and George Goody's not happy for the North Albury Hoppers scam.
Yeah, spot on, mate. You called it again. Dump inside 50. That composure going inside so important, especially in a tight game. 17
minutes gone here. It's a 1-point lead to the Panthers. Costello throws it on the boot. There's no way that went 15, but it's in the hands of O'Brien here for the Panthers. Hope you're enjoying the final term. Thanks to Mac Jack Sheds and O&M Live.
How long do we reckon left, boys? 5-6 minutes?
Oh, we've played 17 now for NZ. I'm going to say we'll get to at least 23, 24. Only the one goal in this final term to Harry Weaven in the 7th minute mark. So here's O'Brien for the Panthers. Sits it up to the hot spot, looking for a flyer. Driscoll brought it front and centre. On the goal line, Swinnerton's got some work to do. Feeds the ball back to Perryman. Just missing to the right-hand side. Ed Perryman minor score. 59 plays 57. Lavington are in front for Border Carpets.
The chance of a draw here, boys, is absolutely on. We're on for any result, really. This game's been terrific. Julian Hayes bringing the ball out of North Albury's defensive 50 here.
So it's going to be Hayes at that Urana Road end to attack the corridor. I don't know if this is the play for North. It hasn't worked for them all day. And sure enough, right on cue, Jesse Hart, the number one intercept marker in the competition, does so for the Lavington Panthers between centre-half forward and the centre circle. He darts the ball inside 50, not his best kick, out the back. Campbell's there for the Hoppers. Handballs to Winter, has to make a good decision, so he kicks the grass with a hit and hope, and it's marked nicely. Ball's in the hands of Charlie Douglas for Lavington on the Velodrome side. Inboard kick to big Jack Driscoll. I reckon he just come off the bench. So here's Jack, a kick and a half from home for the Panthers. Stops and props and waits for an option to present. Umpire calls him to play on now. Wobbler punt inside 50. Lavington have numbers. Aiden Cook throws it across his body. Well done, Julian Hayes. Read it nicely off the crumb from Gardner. As Julian Hayes kicks out wide, this is nice. He's got the boy from Mara. Jack Reynolds across half-back on the Velodrome side. Takes his full 30. Wants an option to present, so he's got to kick long down the line because nothing come. Lavington have numbers via Bennett, front and centre. Well done, Crilly. Nice tackle with the ball, got its way to Costello. Costello with a shallow entry for the Panthers. Good fist from Pope. Now it's Penny, feeds the ball back to Cullen. Wants to find the left, he does so. Here's a bit of space for North Albury. Gardner kicks, looking to find Broomhead inside 50. Timmy's marked it. 40 metres out, slide angle. Streaming inside 50 all along is Flack. But Tim's going to go back and the coach can have a shot on goal at the 20-minute mark to give North Albury the lead.
Beautiful ball movement by North Albury there. There was, packed, stacked numbers, Velodrome side, and they just brought it to the grandstand side and just opened up a little bit there, Gussie, and Timmy Broomhead found a little bit of space out the back. Massive kick here, probably from 47, 48.
This to put North Albury in front by 4 points at the 20-minute mark of the final term for Mac Jack Sheds. Here's the coach, Tim Broomhead. That looks bloody good off the boot. Sundown goal today from Tim Broomhead. 1 goal, 2 for Tim, complemented by a really good helping on the 40-wing stat sheet. And North Albury lead by 4 points for Border Carpets.
15 disposals in the second half for Tim Broomhead. Inserted himself in the middle of the ground after half time. He's absolutely dominated. 5 disposals here in this last quarter. Only had the 4 up until half time, but has really changed the momentum of this game and a big reason why North Albury are in front.
Winking some around the grounds thanks to Mr. Stoves quickly.
So Yarrawonga lead Murderford 9 goals 13-67 to 9 goals 9-63.
We'll get the rest of them from you shortly as Rigoni goes inside 50 here for North. Gee, they'd love another one here, the Hoppers. Flying high was Gardner. Opportunistic running, snapping on goal, and Harry Weaving puts North Albury in front by 2 kicks. The boy from Brock Burns had his magnet thrown here, there and everywhere. And for the Newmarket Hotel, Liam Scammell, he's put together a really important final turn.
Not really his style to crumb it off the back there, Winky, but yeah, read it really nicely and slotted it through. Really, really important goal here late. They're probably going to be pretty tough to catch now. 10 points up with only, a few minutes to play, Winky.
They've got all the momentum here, North Albury, and Harry Weaven has been an absolute find today, and he loved it. He took off like a big running horse and did the big gallop. The boys got around him too.
Kicked his 3 goals today as Harry Weaven. North Albury in front by 10. At the 21-minute mark as Winky continues to go around the ground for Mr. Stoves.
I've just had the phone die on me, Gussie. Give me 2 seconds. I've been
tragedy here in the box.
by technology.
Lucky we've got another stoppage for David Wink to go around the ground for Mr. Stoves.
So Wang Rose have kicked away against Wodonga Raiders. They lead 16-9, 105 to Raiders 5 goals, 8-38.
Give us the good stuff, Wink.
So Albury and Cora in the absolute game of the round. 13-9 Cora lead, 87 to 12 goals, 12, 84. And Wang Magpies, 12 goals, 9, 81 to Wodonga Bulldogs, 9 goals, 8, 62.
Glanville goes short for the Panthers to Hargrave, who switches out to the Velodrome side. Really congested inside 50 awaits here for Lavington. Called to play on is Douglas on the right boot, lowers the eyes, nice looking kick to Perryman. And there could be enough time if Perryman can slot. We've played 23 minutes thanks to NZ. This will bring the margin back to 4.
Yeah, you want to keep moving here, Perryman. He's got back pretty quick.
So Ed Perryman, how many numbers for him today, Winky, on the 40 winks?
15 for Ed.
Can he kick a goal from 35? He can. It's game on. Back to 4 points as Ed Perryman salutes for the Panthers. 4-point ball game on the Border Carpet scoreboard. 23 minutes gone for NZ. North Albury with their noses in front.
Really classy operator is Ed Perryman. Like I said, up to 15 disposals, puts that one through and gives Lavington a big chance here as the ball goes back to the middle. And the momentum swings of this game have been absolutely phenomenal, boys.
We called it pre-game, Wiki. We thought it was going to be a close one. It's absolutely delivered an absolute cracker here today.
Well, you picked it by North by points, Scam, so it's looking very likely.
We're back in the middle. It's next goal wins. Free kick off the play. It's going to go the way of North. The non-officiating umpire found a free kick to Regoni as he comes out wide to Hayes. 69 plays 65. North Albury lead Lavington. For Mac Jack Sheds, we've played 24 minutes. They're going to play methodically here in North and try and milk the clock. Winter's got it. This is smart from North. They're going to kick backwards to Broomhead. Scan for Newey.
Yeah, just controlling the footy. Hayes back again, cross half back. Broomhead rolled back behind the ball as well, just trying to chew the clock.
And they've got a switch on here. Hayes is going to use it out wide to the Velodrome side. Gardner, he marks. They've taken a minute off the clock here, North. This is really good play. Velodrome side, now Cullen. Lavington have got to do something different. They've got to roll the dice and bring numbers up the ground. North have got it on the Velodrome side. A long dump kick down the line looking for yardage. Contest in towards a bit of space. Weaven turned it over to a net. It's got to be really good here for Lavington, but North Albury respond. Gardner, this is Foster on the right inside. 50 Leighton Taylor for North Albury, tied up in the pocket. 35 metres out. Any score could really bury this one here, Scam.
Yeah, great grab again by Leighton Taylor. He's had a really good day. We obviously had him up here with us earlier in the day, and he's been clunking them all over the ground. You know, he'll take his sweet time here and just soak the clock up.
So Leighton Taylor, poor tracking from Lavington. He lowered the eyes inboard to find Tim Broomhead, and more importantly, buy themselves another 30 seconds. Broomhead will kick from 50.
Yeah, another coach killer, just lack of awareness there as Broomhead just snuck across. Another little chip mark, and he's taking his time, Timmy.
He's taking his sweet time indeed. Here's Timmy Broomhead. North Albury are going to salute 70-65 in an absolute barn burner on O&M Live. 5-point victory to the green and gold over the Lavington Panthers. Some contest here. Lavington was so incredibly brave, but what a game of footy it was. And good luck Liam Scammell picking the Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. It's going to be an absolute really tricky one to pick here. Winky might have to lend in his thoughts and give him some assistance. But North Albury survive an almighty scare from the Panthers. They salute by 5 points on O&M Live. Epic contest. North Albury winning in an absolute arm wrestle. Scam's going to go boundary side and catch up with our player of the day. David Wink rejoins the call. What an epic game of footy. What a contest. And what a victory for the North Albury Football Club.
Well, Liam Scammell and myself called it before game that we think there'd be a kick in it, and they certainly did not disappoint. What a game, Gussie. It's two sides that play an attacking brand of football and put on an absolute show for us here today.
Certainly. Who are your sort of maybe contenders for the Anytime Fitness Player of the Day? Tim Broomhead got busy in the last quarter. We saw Harry Weaven pop up with 3 goals. Really tough to pick a player today.
Yeah, I thought Harry Weaven was good, but Julian Hayes, I've got him down for 29 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. I thought he in the first half, he drove the ball forward for North Albury and cut off a lot of Lavington's forward movement, but without Tim Broomhead, they don't win the game. The way he moved himself in the middle of the ground, I don't know why it took till half time, but his second half was phenomenal. But I think Julian Hayes was the best player on the ground for mine, Gussie.
Julian Hayes, what were his numbers on the 40 wings?
29 stats on the 40-wing stat sheet for Julian. Got busy in the last quarter with seven disposals and really helped ice the game there late, chipping the ball around a little bit and just took some time off the clock.
I think Liam Scammell has picked the Anytime Fitness Player of the Day, and maybe with a bit of help from David Wink. We'll cross to him shortly. He's got Julian Hayes, boundary side. Liam Scammer, our Anytime Fitness Player of the Day.
I do, boys. Got Julian Hayes with me here. I think 29 touches he had and absolutely racked up across half-back. Julian, great win, mate, for the boys off a really important one last week at Anzac Day.
Oh, absolutely. I think Lavy were kind of creating what we were creating last year. And, to get that win, it really sets us up for the year to go 3-1 now.
Beautiful, mate. Tell us a little bit about half-time. It seemed like a little bit of a game of two halves where you really couldn't get the ball moving in that first half, and Lavy really locked it up, but it seemed to open up a bit in the second half.
Oh yeah, credit to them. They were playing really well in the first half, and we weren't playing like the football that we usually want to. And then after half-time, we really wanted to start slinging it through the middle. I think that's what we did, and we opened it up a little bit there.
Beautiful, mate. Go and enjoy. Thanks.
Liam Scammer with Julian Hayes, our Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. We'll take a break here on O&M Live and bring you the song on the other side. North Albury saluting by 5 points on O&M Live. A thrilling game of footy. Looking forward to unpacking this one on the other side of the break. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box, and you're primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.